Shorty automatically acting brand new. I've been in the streets before I met you, and nobody cared if I lost. I was 14, moving like a boss, and I knew what I had to do. I had to beat the odds. Life was a lesson, and I prayed to the Lord. I know I was down, but now I got a ball. And if I got caught, it wasn't meant to be, cause I was in these streets. But I've been waiting for you, baby. I've been waiting to show you something different. Show you something different. Something never seen. Rear over, please bring that pretty ass over, yeah. Rear over, please bring that pretty ass over, yeah. Rear over, please bring that pretty ass over, yeah. I know shorty a freak. She go licky, she getting nice for me. I know shorty a beast. She getting wetty, yeah. Shorty from the east. She getting necky, bucket necky for me. If I can spoil you, I'ma spoil you. And if I'm proud of you, I'ma proud of you. And if I adore you, I'ma adore you. I got you, boo. Bam. So, you know that.
What up? What's going on, y'all? Hey, screaming out from the top to the bottom. We got Hey Hush. We got Life with Lex McBree. We got Miss Mandy Autry, the trademark in the building with Niet, Ridgeway, my man, Shadow Too Real. Hey, look, y'all, tonight, man, we're going to kick it off the right way. Welcome, everybody, from over on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to Tmax Network, the People's Campaign. Tonight, we're going to come with some hot topics. If you guys want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, click that notification bell. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel by going to @Tmax_network or over on Facebook, simply Tmax Network. Send in your music. Send in your thoughts, your concerns, your comments. Email us at tmaxnetworkll@gmail.com. Man, y'all ready for tonight's topics? We got some headbangers in here tonight.
Oh,
y'all good?
Oh yeah.
Man, I know it's another Tuesday, but looks like y'all a little dry. Yeah, you straight? You over there with the baby?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay, gotcha. What's going on with you, Hush?
She curly. She ain't straight. She curly.
What's going on, Trademark? You straight?
Let's do this thing, bro.
All right, man. Welcome everybody. Shawnee P in the building. Look, man, we're gonna set it off. So everybody that's watching on Facebook and YouTube, I want to let you know we got a musical showcase once again this week. We are still waiting on our second competitor to get in the building, but without further ado, we will definitely put you guys on the showcase as soon as possible. We'll go ahead on and pay some bills real quick. You guys can go ahead on and look up Alexis Sky Cohen Boutique. You can shop online with Alexis Sky Cohen Boutique. You can look them up at www.alexissky with 2 Y's coboutique.com. Also, we have bosssisters.com, right? Bosssisters.com, uplifting and empowering beautiful and optimistic sisters. You can register with bosssisters.com at www.bosssisters.com. Got you. All right. Next up, we got Mandy's Cleaning Crew, LLC. Get your commercial and residential cleaning on with Mandy's Cleaning Crew, LLC. Guns and boxing. protect your neck with guns and boxing, and last but not least, the extra digit movement, helping individuals and families increase their income and cash flow by one extra digit at a time. Later on in the broadcast, we will have a musical showcase brought to you by Tmax Network. We have Sadiq, aka Money, versus Shadow 2 Real. Our main topic for tonight, if you guys haven't seen the thumbnail, we are talking about our lives are in their hands. This is about the 25 25 nurses, so-called nurses, who were arrested out of 7,600 fake diplomas spread out starting from Fort Lauderdale and also Palm Beach. All right, man. Hey, look, y'all, let's not even wait any longer. Let's go ahead on and dive into it. Our first topic of the night, we're going to start out with, has social media benefited today's society, or has it been a major downfall? Starting with you, Nia.
Okay, wow. Starting with me. I'm definitely in the middle with that because whatever you have, you can make it an asset or you can make it a liability. You know, something bad for your health. So too much social media, you get inclined to be thinking that that's what life really is. Like knowing that people really project the best of themselves on social media really doesn't help those who have not been out to experience life. So now they're over here thinking my life must look like this. I must have these things, and having this big old comparison versus, we're all still working to make it, right? So on the opposite side, of it being a good thing, connecting with people, getting to see the good versions of what people have accomplished and actually say, you know what, that's something I want to experience for myself. Communicating with people, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to drop that one right there.
Okay. All right. Shawnee P, what you thinking?
I like how Niet put it. I do believe that without social people would never opportunity. Like it would have been almost impossible for, certain connections to happen. Usually it's, some things are so far out of reach, but it's just making it easier. And I don't know, I think it's inspiring. Like I love the fact that, if I want to go to Africa, I don't just have to, there's a whole tribe of folks I have access to that I can find and start doing research. So it just make people not feel so much like a stranger. Now, on the downfall, it's a lot. I think it's overwhelming to us just because it's really not our world. So for the people behind us, I don't feel like we should police, so to speak, their experience or where the world is going. So like I know YouTube, it usually drives me crazy. My kids, that's all they do is YouTube all day long. And how my friend explained it to me, she was like, their version of reading views. Like we read views before we make a purchase. The kids do the same thing. So I'm glad that it's there because like my kids, they know a whole lot. Like, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been 6 or 7 years old, but the way their minds work, I don't know. So I'm in the middle too. I think it's good when it's good, but it's also bad when it's bad. But for everything good, there's evil.
Okay. Open panel. Anyone else that want to unmute and chime in? Y'all can all unmute and give your opinion. Has social media benefited today's society, or has it been a major downfall?
I do think it depends on the user, because if you dumb going into social media, you're gonna remain that not dumb, truthfully. But then it's like at the same time, like a lot of money between if you're what you want to use it for. I got quite a bit of money from it between networking and really just getting out but it could definitely make you dumb.
Okay.
Well, here go the social media thing. It gives us a very broad way of thinking. And I remember in the 80s and 70s watching the same Walter Cronkite and Barbara Walters, and I'm like, and that was just for news. And I'm like, So now you get social media. Now you see people with better news. You see people who give that news and a better understanding. So I think social media is a great asset for the people. But if it keeps on going on, there's an old movie called Demolition Man, and all this technology stuff, it might hurt us in the end. But we gotta be moderate with it. We gotta be moderate with it. Sylvester Stallone said, "Oh, this is a good burger." He said, "What's made out of it?" They said, "When the last time you seen a cow?"
I think that social media is a tool, and a tool can be used for good. It can be used for evil, like someone said earlier. But I also think that social media, I always call social media a multiplier because it makes you 10 times whatever you are. If you're a good person, now you got more people to be good to. If you're a narcissist, your narcissism is going to be on overload now because you got a larger crowd. If you're somebody that's looking for ways to learn and looking for ways to grow, it's multiple ways to go out there and learn. And but I think on the bad side of it too is that there was a time that we only had our immediate circle to compare ourselves to. So we would do something, and the people around us would be the only people that we could actually gauge our progress over. Now you have access to a larger number of people. So now you're comparing yourself to people who you don't know their background, you don't know their situation. And to be honest with you, you're comparing yourself to people who really don't exist because most people on social media are actually a fraud. They're balling, they living their best life. And it's rude that I say it that way, but how can you live your best life still getting government benefits? How you living your best life when you're still borrowing money from people, but you don't see all that back end stuff? So here you are comparing yourself, feeling bad about
But that's their potential though.
huh? What happened?
Like for some people's goal.
Your goal is
I'm
to compare
saying like
a fake
for some
person?
people that's goal. Like if they live in their life and they may be still using benefits, like we're not in their body. So for them, that could be the best it is gonna get.
No, that's not their best life. That's not their best. That's what they
But you don't get
settle.
to say that.
I
Yeah,
do.
because they think that
I do. And
people.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I get to say that. Because we were all created in God's image. So anything that's subpar, it ain't your best. If living off of somebody else's tab is your best, you actually lowering your own expectations.
You just gotta. Why would you even? You can't measure that. That's you literally can't measure that.
What can I measure?
So all I'm saying is we just got to focus on doing the best for ourselves. We can't sit back and say, oh, they could be doing so much better, even if we want it for them. But just everybody got a role. Everybody got a place in this world. And everybody just ain't going to be on top.
Well,
Just we all
everybody
got a place.
everybody has a role. Everybody has a place. And I don't expect everybody to have the same expectations that I have, but the expectation should be to be a functioning adult that can survive on their own.
Yeah, I don't care who says
they are surviving.
Yeah,
no, they're not. They're and I guess you're right though. They are surviving. The key should be to thrive. Surviving should never be the goal.
No, you said first time trying. He said best life. Nobody best life is
Right.
in the pun. Nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't care how you put it. That could be the best you for now, but no, that's not your best life. And don't. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Ain't no way. I don't give a damn who you are. Ain't no way.
Yeah. I just
Like you can't make excuse.
It's
Everybody
too
goes.
many people who.
Everybody goes through
Yeah,
stuff.
I think we've got to a point of people want participation trophies, you know, and I surround myself with a lot of teachers, and we always talk about how bad the kids are. The kids are different. The kids are different. No, the kids are just a reflection of their parents. So when you see what kids are doing, and you see kids who are just lowering their expectation, that's like a kid who goes to school and they get a D, and the parent is glad that everybody is satisfied because the kid passed or the kid got a C, and you're saying that that's the best they can do. No, you've already put a predetermined limit on that kid. You've given them a ceiling. So I just don't believe in. I don't believe in ceilings. I don't believe in doing just enough to get by. And I think that's what's wrong with our society right now. That we have fell into the participation trophy category, where everybody got to get a trophy. Everybody got to show that they were there. You don't get a cookie for being there. I mean, that's if you think about it in layman terms, you being there gives God the glory because God was the one that woke you up. You have you didn't do anything to be there. You woke up. You stayed still when God gave you the authority to wake up. So we give God the glory for waking you up. But after He wakes you up, everything that happened after that on you, mama.
High five. Yes.
Which goes back to saying what I said. You can't measure that. If they're giving it their personal best, you don't get to measure that. No matter how bad we want it for them.
It's not a matter of me wanting it though. If you're a functioning adult, if you are a functioning adult and you sit back and rely on something or somebody else to give you your basics, you really are not an adult. You're just a person that has an age that makes them legal.
See, I don't care about none of that. I mean, because it's just that part is what it is. If that's what they choose, if they feel like that's where they're supposed to be in life, who are we to say anything different? Now, I'm not saying don't encourage anyone to think, but I'm not going to sit back and you're not doing your because I'm not in your body.
Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. I don't. It's not my place to judge them, but being in my circle, you have to earn that place. And just saying that you're gonna sit back and let whatever happen, I don't even want you around me. Because
no,
that's
everybody not meant to
Hello,
be
Ken.
They have their own circle.
The spirit,
they
the
got
energy.
Their own circle.
Hey, y'all never saw Good Times? Yeah, nobody remember Good Times? They stayed in that apartment for about 30 episodes. 30 long episodes. 30 seasons.
No, it's difference. Trademark wasn't saying that, but Shawnee, you took it there. He was saying, baby, you have nothing to judge it off on. But what you just came in and did was making it as that's their best. Not what he was saying. But honestly, I can't even allow you to put it out there without begging to differ. Because that is not them their best life depending on somebody else. It is a difference when someone falls on a hard time. But you cannot call that your best life if you depend on somebody else, whether it's the government, your parents, or anything else to take care of you. In no time should that ever be classified in anybody's best life. And to put that out,
I don't know what those things are like.
No, you wouldn't tell that kid that you consider that their best life, them living in your house and they're adults. No, you wouldn't.
Me personally, but we're talking about me as a single person, as a being. No, the goal is to move on from me.
So is that your best?
The goal is for you to be independent.
Exactly. So that is not your best life.
Now, and once they become adults, that's on them. That's on me. I'm gonna like I said, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to encourage. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you really feel like this is the best you can do, you feel that way. What am I supposed to do?
Shawnee P, I'm with you.
Yo,
I'm with you.
I'm not
I'm
gonna knock
with you.
somebody for having a hard time. I used to receive
We're
government
not
assistance,
saying hard time. I mean,
but I never dare and say that was my
it,
best life. And to sit back and let somebody define that as their best life, you're doing a disservice. That's
Wait,
nobody's
wait,
best.
wait, wait, wait. Let's bring it back to good times. Then Thelma get married and move back to the apartment. I'm
But
saying.
look, a lot of people already have problems with sharing their true self with people. So how you feel having to go out and tell any government institution how much you make? I can't take care of myself. I need your help to help me raise my children. I need your help to clothe me, house me, feed me.
But
Like you feel like
you know, to bring it back to the topic though, that's what social media has done to
I've
us.
never had anything like that.
Social media has made it a point to where we a lot of people now will let the government take care of their needs while they finance their own wants. Because social media has shown them that we have to compete with people that we really don't even know. So it's like social media has made everybody fake. People are fake. People are fraud, and you got people who what was it was a guy this weekend I was talking to, and he said that he knew people who would finance their lifestyle, finance their fake lifestyle before the things that they needed. So you would go if you were going to a party and you had $200 and you knew you had a bill that was due, you would use 180 of those dollars to go out and Turo a nice vehicle, knowing that after the party was over, you had $20 to live the rest of the month off of. And social media has done that because for people who seek that affirmation, who seek that I don't even know what you call it, that seek that approval from people, they would put themselves in a bind to be approved by people who don't know them and could give two drops of monkey's urine about what happened to them when they out there screaming.
Just like crack.
It is. Attention's a hell of a drug.
yeah, and people do anything to keep it. If you
Mm-hmm.
notice, like if a female or guy, if someone posts on social media and they want their content viewed, they'll start posting little pictures or something that's going to get people routed up just to get back to get that attention that they once had. They go to their streams.
Yeah. Yeah. I met a young lady this weekend who's actually she has like 4.5 million followers. I don't know if followers or views on TikTok. And she's a network marketer. And she said what she does is that the girl is beautiful. I gotta call it spade a spade. She's gorgeous. She has a beautiful face, a beautiful body, but she puts seductive pictures on herself on social media just to get people to see it. And when they click the picture, underneath the picture is a link to her company where she gets them to go ahead and sign up with her to get to know her. But she uses her body as a way of getting their attention.
A weapon, sir. A
I'm
weapon.
not judge that either way because it's obviously is working. She's extremely successful with it, but just goes to show you the let that people would go to for that attention. But she uses it to grow her business. So I guess it's a pro and a con there.
But do that like go against like your morals and values, or is it all about getting a dollar?
We assuming
Because
she got morals and values. It may be all about the bad.
I guess it is all about the bad. Because I think about me for one. I think about my future. I think about position that I'm gonna have in leadership later on. I don't need anyone pulling up a picture of me because I wanted the attention. Because I wanted someone to see me so bad. I'm not. No, I already know where I'm heading in life, and I plan for that. That's why I even think about my children. You know, they already looking like, oh, look at your mom. Imagine if they got pictures. Hey, look at your mom. You know, I think about stuff like that. I'm not putting myself out there, especially on social media, because once it's out there, I have people who sent me screenshots of me. Okay, screenshots of me. So it's always going to be out there. So people need to keep that in mind.
Hey,
Hey, we got a echo. I don't know who it's coming from, but if y'all got any other device on with the stream playing in the background, it's echoing real bad. Um, yeah, do me a favor. Can you read off these chats for us real quick, starting with the name?
We got Anthony Hollins. Here's the perfect example of our mindset. Beyonce is charging $1,000 to see her. You can also get a loan to get a ticket. How many people are not going to pay their rent to go to that concert? Woo!
Bunch
All
of
right,
them.
Facebook user. Anthony Hollins, the market is about to be crazy available.
All right, man. That first topic was to get us warmed up. I've reached out to our competitor in this musical showcase. Haven't heard back from him just yet, but we're still gonna run his song because he did put an entry in and send his music in. At this time, Ken, if you would, man, we're gonna highlight you, bring you up. I think a few people over from our major sponsor of Extra Digit Movement. If you would do us the honors and shed some light on this thing. You muted, Ken. I just unmute you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ken Lawrence. They call me the trademark. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about how important it is to have your finances in order. And a method that we have is going to help you to get everything strategically where it needs to be. So today I'm going to be talking to Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, I am better than amazing. First of all, I want to thank you for hopping on with us and being willing to share your story today. So quickly, how long have you been with the Extra Digit Movement?
I joined in June of 2022.
Okay, so that puts you a little under a year, about a year and a half.
Little under that.
22, yeah, about a year. Okay, I'm tripping. So, quick question: what has happened in your life since joining the Extra Digit Movement?
Oh wow. The debt elimination has been the biggest benefit for us. I have school loans that are just out of the ballpark, and even with my school loans, MWR has shaved about 75 years off of our debt, which means we're set to be debt free by 2030.
Okay.
Which is 7 years from now.
Yes,
and with my school loans, I was looking at leaving that to my children to have to pay. So that is by far the biggest benefit. When I first came in and I uploaded my 2 pay stubs and my tax returns, I was able to get $448 back in my paycheck each month. And that was a big benefit. That really opened my eyes to what MWR could do for us.
Nice. So for those of you who don't know, she mentioned MWR. That's a company that we're affiliated with. It actually stands for Make Wealth Real. And what we do that's so different than any other company on the planet right now is that instead of giving you templates and giving you a binder and teaching you how to do all these things, we actually connect you with certified experts in those areas. So if you want to lower your taxes, bam, we actually have certified tax preparers and enrolled agents to help you get your taxes right. She mentioned about the debt portion. We have to give you a program that allows you to enter all your debt into a program, and it shows you how to pay that debt down in the absolute quickest time possible. We have credit professionals to help you to get your credit right. And the whole thing that we're trying to do is that we're trying to give you an advantage, because unfortunately, schools don't teach us a whole lot about our finances. And whether we know it or not, the money game is happening every single day. The government, the banks, big businesses are all trying to figure out how to get that little bit of money that we have left over after everything is done. So MWR Financial and the Extra Digit Movement actually help level the playing field by showing you the rules of the wealthy and also putting you in contact with professionals to help you get where you want to go with your finances. So Ms. Sharon, would you recommend for anybody that's listening to get with MWR Financial and get their finances taken care of?
Absolutely. It can help everybody.
Yes. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for jumping on and sharing your testimony with us.
Enjoyed it. Thank
All right. And I'm also going to speak with Miss Mandy.
Hi.
We'll talk about her journey with the extra digit movement and MWR Financial. So I asked you the same question. How long have you been a part of the movement?
About 5.
5 months?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from that 5 month period, what sticks out to you the most?
The most is my word. And so they've been able to the dollars on my same service.
Nice. Nice. So
Yeah.
that's basically nothing changed.
Nope.
No reduction in service,
Nope.
but you have additional money coming back into your household every single month.
Yes.
And out of curiosity, just out of curiosity, what have you allocated that extra money for?
So that
What are you doing with the extra money that you got from your bill reduction?
investing,
Great. Great.
which
So-
is something that they taught in education, and so working at set at a time.
Yeah. And see, for a lot of people, if you ask them, do they want to invest? The answer is always yes.
Mhm.
The problem that they always have is that most people are actually living paycheck to paycheck and don't have any additional funds to invest. So if you come into us with an open mind, we actually will show you from point A to point Z how to get the additional funds, how to start getting your credit where it needs to be so that you can go ahead and lower those interest rates, which is going to bring even more money into your household, how to get rid of debt, which is going to bring more money into your household, how to get rid of some of those expensive bills that you have that you pay every day to put more money in your household. And now that you have this lump sum of money every single month, we're going to give you different investment tools to help you start to grow that money. And we just released a program that's going to help people who want to be first time home buyers to get into the home that they want to get into. So if you are interested in learning more about this opportunity, get in the chats and just put MWR in the chats, and somebody will get with you and help you get on the road to financial freedom. Cash is coming back. The cash is coming back. The cash is coming back.
And that was awesome testimonies, man. When I see, people's lives being changed that in that manner, I just know that we're on the right course in our community. Letting everybody get a piece of what we call, the wealth train. There's something that you said, Ken, when you was talking about social media, and I just wanted to, make a statement. Y'all was talking about people living their best life or showing that they're living their best life, and a gentleman let me know that most folks are comparing their everyday life to everybody else's highlights. And that sometimes can get us into a funk. So while we're thinking that everybody else is doing much better than us, they're pretty much showing their highlights, right? If we wanted to take a collective hold, now you got some folks, hey, they're putting up their best foot forward and they're giving out information, such as what we're doing here. So extra digit movement is definitely with MWR a game changer, like Mr. Holland said. I got some feedback. I don't know where it's coming from, but we'll go move right on into our next segment, man. We're gonna do one more topic before we get over to our musical showcase, and this topic right here. All right, so let me go ahead and put some emphasis on it. What I want you guys to do is keep an open mind, take a look at both clips. This is something that I think is one of the biggest topics going on across social media when it comes to panels like ours. I got some emails and some text messages from our last 2 or 3 shows that they're saying that our topics are definitely a different conversation than what's being had. We do a lot of relationship stuff over here because we know the foundation of a community is each and every last household. So with that being, let's go ahead and take a look at this stuff.
We are going to talk about Black women being undesired in the dating world. And this is not an opinion. This is based on facts and studies that were done. For example, that most men in the site rated Black women as less attractive than women of other races and ethnicities. Of course, on the flip side of the coin, it's Asian men who were rated less attractive than other races and ethnicities in the male category. Black mothers are 4 times more likely to be single and serve as the primary breadwinners of their home. What is it like to date as a Black woman?
It's actually really difficult. I recently swiped on someone and I was like, okay. And I'm looking at his picture. I'm like, okay, you're white. He's like, are you down with the swirl? Honestly, if I swiped.
Right. Yes. That is an indication.
That's an indication.
Mm-hmm. I believe that that's a whole bunch of BS, honestly. So if you're talking to 5 different guys right now, you have one man that you're talking to, one man that you're effing, one man that you use to take you out to dinner, and one man who's like a phone buddy who you just speak to at all hours of the night just because you can't spend time by yourself.
I'm going nowhere. But so you might want to sit down and be content and do right and find you a Black girl right here in this great United States, because they ain't letting y'all asses go nowhere.
Well, I'm sorry to bust your bubble, sister, but you can't stop us. In fact, you damn sure can't stop me. What's that old school song by McFadden and Whitehead? Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. I know. Hey, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move.
All right, man. If I can get everybody to go ahead on and unmute your mics, I will pose the topic on those videos. This next topic that we're going to roll through is: are we in a gender war today between man versus woman? If so, how can we begin to fix it? We'll start with you, Mandy.
I think it's a lot of it going on, but I think it's more so because we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable and open. It's more so like a competition where, like, a battle to see who can outdo the other versus working together as
Anybody else?
Oh, she finished? I didn't even know she finished. I go to.
Yeah, she's cutting. Mandy, you cutting in and out pretty bad. I don't know if you're far away from your speaker to where it's catching like every other word, but yeah, it's cutting in and out and bad. I don't know if you got headphones that you can throw in that'll give you a microphone. But go ahead, Hush.
Well, this is my stitch right here. I love this topic. Ladies, we don't care. We don't care what you went through. We don't care what you're going through. We tried to be there. We tried to listen, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So now we want to get our little passports, and we want. Don't y'all like to travel? That's all I. Oh, I want to go traveling. I want to go traveling. Yeah, okay. Well, now we going traveling without you. So what's the problem?
Are you saying women in whole? You're tired of women?
What? What'd you say? I ain't never tired of no woman now. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh, no. I'm never gonna get rid of. No, I'm not gonna never get rid of my women. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Like you were switching teams. I just clarified.
Oh no, you ain't gonna do that to me. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I love my women.
Well, see, I just really be wishing I can be a fly on the wall, like when they pull up, right, and they land into their another country. Like, we just had a topic about like social media, right, and all the hands of this in. So, what's gonna happen when these women get wind of this? Now we know that some of them. I mean, I'm just saying, like we know that some people want to get here so desperately, right? They'll do anything to get a green card. But I'm just wondering, like, how does that really make them feel? Like, man, y'all done ran out of all the options.
We ain't run out of no options. The thing is that the men
That's what they
are
making it
tired
seem
of.
like, though.
No, well, look, if it seemed like that, it seemed like that. But no, you got more and more black men like myself marrying black women. I love black women. There's nothing more than a beautiful black woman that's gonna do anything for me. So my thing is, I am not gonna argue with you anymore. I'm not gonna sit there and fuss about nothing that you think that you might not like. Because a lot of times y'all in your feelings anyway when y'all say something. So it's like, all right, well, you'll get over it.
So is that like a black woman thing? Because we already established that you only date women. And if this is the
No. Let me tell you something. Something about hey hush. I don't date or deal with anything with blonde hair or any shade of blue eyes. And it could come in a
no,
Becky
but
and
okay.
it could
So
come in a
I'm just
Shaniqua.
saying.
I don't date none with a blonde
So
hair
all
or
I'm
blue
saying
eyes.
is, if most women, if you're where you are because, like you said, you're not doing no arguing, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, cool. You think
What you mean
another
who?
woman, you don't think she gonna be something like that?
No, I'm just talking about the topic, the mass people that's now the men that are going to get their passports or going to go and do what they want to do. They can either find a wife, come back, whatever. Who knows? I'm just talking about the topic.
I got a
Right.
All
question.
right, I
My
think
question is this right here.
let me pose this real
The
quick
question was
so,
general.
so everybody can understand. The topic is: are we in a gender war today between man versus woman? Those two clips were to display the frustration between the two. So the question is: are we in a gender war today between man and woman? And how do we begin to fix it? So if somebody can give me some solutions, because we are a show that where we talk about today's issues while finding tomorrow's solutions. So before we get into a gender war here, I know it makes for good content, but I definitely would love to hear some solutions of how we can repair it.
All right. So my question proposed is, how do men want to be treated? What's going to help you elevate? What's going to help you be cultivated? What's going to help you? Like we always talk about you don't feel valued. Like women don't understand you. Men don't understand women. We already have that. But if someone were to ask you, like, what are your needs? What can I do to serve or help my black man? Like, what can we do together to bond together? Like, what does that look like? And I'm asking my men up on here, my men I'm rocking with, what does that look like for you? Like, that support from your woman,
Respect,
support from black women. What will
respect,
that look like?
respect.
Okay.
Anything that
What is
respect.
she respecting?
She's respecting me, respecting my
Okay.
choices, respecting me wanting to be an honorable man and raising my family the way I need to raise my family in my household. RESPECT.
So when a woman is asking or feeling like she's not being protected, that she's not being provided for, that you're not expressing love for her, like, what is your response to get her to feel comfortable enough to say, look, I'm doing everything I can. Help me to be able to love you better. Like, what does that look like?
Okay, so
All
help
right,
me.
Shadow, help me out, Shadow.
Wait,
I know
hold
you're
on.
a good man.
Cause Shadow married. Shadow married.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about,
We got
Shadow. I know you
so
got some gems over there, man.
I mean, yeah, respect, but I mean, look at it like this too. How many men do you know out there that know how to express that? You know what I mean? A lot of us as men, what do we always taught growing up? We don't cry. We don't express this. We don't say this. We don't say that. You know, we protect our women and that's it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And that's what we're raised on. So whenever you ask that question of what do we need? What do we want? A lot of people won't know how to answer that, honestly, because they don't know. They're so used to a pattern. They're so used to what they grew up seeing and what they, saying, stuff like that. So they don't know how to answer that. And for a while, I definitely fell in that category of I really couldn't tell you. I just said the same thing Hush said, respect. And that's it. Because I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't tell you what I need, couldn't tell you what I want, because I wouldn't have known. I don't know how to express myself. You know what I mean? Now that I'm older and I look at that, I'm like, you could have said this, you could have said that. Sometimes you just got to voice your opinion. You know what I mean? Like, show that mutual ground. Like, you ain't backing down, but at the same time, you ain't pushing too hard either. You know what I mean? It's like you both respect each other's boundaries, each other's territory. And I feel like with the topic being, are we in a gender war? I feel like both sides kind of forgot that. You know what I mean? If it goes back to like the previous topic of social media, everybody's looking at this relationship, that relationship. Oh, they got a wonderful, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors though. You know what I mean? You don't know if he beating the crap out of her or she beating the crap out of him. Because a lot of times in marriages, you don't know who doing what nowadays. The woman could be beating the crap out of the man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get those ones that, and a lot of us were raised on that too, like you don't put your hands on a woman. You know what I mean? But you got a lot of them who are raised on equal opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So most people don't know how to express themselves and tell you what they need or tell you what they want. And then you see later on they go do it. Like, for instance, the cheaters. Why did you go cheat? What did you see on the outside that you couldn't get on the inside? You see what I'm saying? Instead of expressing what they needed or what they wanted, they went and did it. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna break it in layman terms. Women keep saying what they want. The man only saying, hey, look, what do you need? Stop telling me everything you want. What do you need? Do you need me to be here? Okay, I'll be here. But now you want something else. I want you to be here, but I want you to do, and I want you. Come on. Nah. Stop with the wants, ladies. Stop with all the wants.
A lot of communication is pretty much dead in relationships nowadays, and it's sad. If you really look at it, a lot of communication is dead in relationships. If you think about it, it's always one-sided. One person wants this or the other person wants that. Never mutual ground. No kind of communication of, hey, let's both sit down like two grown adults and let's express ourselves. Ain't nobody in here, ain't no cameras, ain't no social media. It's just you and me.
Well, I guess I'm lost on it.
Nia, if you can go ahead on and read these couple comments and then throw yours on top of it.
All right, Amika Smith. That's a very valid question. I don't think that most men would know how to answer that question if asked. Anthony Hollins. Ego and stupidity is the breakup of a lot of families. Anthony Hollins. Okay. Everybody feeling like it's more important to be right than deal with the problem. If there is a problem, we are both wrong. That's why I asked the question. Because oftentimes we're trying to figure out what the person needs. I do feel like wants should be considered as well. Wants are considered because that's part of our desires. We don't always have to have our needs prevalent over our desires as well. Like, man, shouldn't I have, if I want me some chocolate cake, what's wrong with that? I don't need it, but I want it because you know what that chocolate cake going to do? It's going to satisfy me. And then if I'm in a happier mood, I'm able to perform better.
Chocolate cake is good as hell.
It is.
It sure is. I gotta have my fix.
But I think people forget that. It's not always about our needs.
Chocolate cake is good, but it's temporary. It's temporary gratification.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's a temporary fix?
Yeah, of all the things we could have talked about, we talked about something that's gonna give you a temporary emotion. You want chocolate cake. Chocolate cake puts you in a good mood. So now we got to continuously do something temporary to get a long-term effect out of it.
No.
You don't like you're hungry. You're not performing at your best. So it's like you get certain things situated first, get the mood flowing to where you can conversate, you can be productive.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I strongly believe is like what Shadow said, like the breakdown of communication. And then in the comments about being right don't matter if there's still a problem, just like you said. And so too often people listen to be right instead of listening to see what the problem is and how it can be fixed. When, like, I don't want to be right. With me, it's like, what's the problem? How can it be fixed? And I don't feel like a lot of people look at things that way. I was actually talking to somebody just today.
You know what y'all just did? I'm gonna tell you what y'all just did. Y'all actually have me agreeing with Hush.
No,
because Hush just said something. Y'all just confirmed what he said. Hush just said that men focus on needs and women focus on wants. So basically, just with that, we speak in two different languages.
Okay. So that's the point of there being a man and a woman. Like, we can't sit up here and think and operate the exact same way, or we would be unisex. Like, it's a man's, I'm gonna say it's a man's position to help us decide what's needed or prioritize over our wants, but not deprive us from it. Don't say, yeah, you can't have that, and that's a never. No, it's like, okay, well, we're going to work on that, or we're going to get to that, instead of it just falling into the atmosphere of that not being something that's going to help us grow or satisfy us. Like, we can't just focus on needs all the time.
But we don't. Okay, but we don't. We all know we don't think alike, right? Men and women don't think alike. Can we agree with that?
We can.
Okay, so now, if you want a new car, but you don't need a new car, baby girl, you just got a car 5 years ago. Oh, but you know the tire pressure is down. All the brakes is there. Well, let's change the brakes. Let's get the tire pressure back up. Whatever. And then you just don't like the car. We have another child. Oh, we just need more room. We just need more room in the car. I got to take soccer practice. I'm picking up friends and stuff. Babe, we don't need a car. Now we done did something else. We done did something else with the money. I've heard women say, I've been living in this house for maybe 6 years now. I want a new house.
All right, question, right? If you know your woman is in a bad mood, why do you show up to the house with flowers, candy, something to eat, snacks, diamonds, jewelry? Why you show up with that?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Is that a nice gesture?
Because y'all women made something new up called love languages, and something with I like gifts, and I like appreciation. I like soft spoken words. I'm like, where did this come from?
Once she's happy or once she's content, she's going to provide an environment where we both can thrive in.
I bet you got all 5 love languages.
Even though you helped to create it. We're creating it together. Like, you probably, I don't care, you probably put the walls up and she decorated it.
I bet you got all 5 love languages, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think everyone does. I don't think there is one love language. I think it's whatever you need at the time. I don't think there's like no one love language. Oh, this it's whatever you're needing in that time. I think all the love languages are together.
So it's what you need at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's what you need. So it's what now?
Exactly
So
what you're needing at the
what
time.
you need at
Maybe
the time.
you're missing.
I'm supposed to figure that out.
No. It's a communication that's telling this person what they need at the time. If you learn your partner and your partner is like gloomy, you should be like, dang, let me, since she loves to be hugged, let me go in and hug her.
Let me get her some chocolate cake.
So Hush, you don't like somebody doing something nice for you? You don't like your woman to like cater to, like make sure that you're happy? You don't like that?
Of course, and I do the same with her. But the thing is,
what's wrong with it?
I'm gonna use myself as a mortar here. I'm gonna share some personal information with you all about how I see how this thing breaks down. This is my second marriage. Now, my first marriage ended because of this topic, I think, because there are some people who actually put their wants before their needs. Men, we prioritize needs. And I'll be honest with you, if my needs are not taken care of, your wants don't matter. Needs are for survival. Wants are just something that you do when you in your emotions. But until we got our priority taken care of, your emotions don't really matter. And that's the reason why my first marriage didn't work. My first marriage didn't work because, and I'll be honest with you, I was struggling. I mean, I was barely getting by. If we got to a day where, all the bills were paid and we had some money left over, it was a good month. But we talk about social media, we talk about peer pressure. Here she had friends that were out there dealing with older guys that were actually more established, guys that were making money. And she saw what they had and she wanted a piece of it.
That's stupidity, though.
So she started to step and do her thing, and eventually things
she
went
was getting
south.
a follower.
That's
but lo and behold now, and I say it with pride now.
The grass ain't green on the other side.
My wife hasn't had. We don't do needs. Our needs are auto draft. So we don't even think about our needs. And she haven't had a want in a very long time. Because the same guy that you look at today and think that, he don't live up to your standards may be the guy that in the long run may not be the most exciting guy. He may be a little bit boring at times. But that guy's gonna offer you stability. And that's the biggest difference between men and women. A man's first priority is to provide. We talk about providing. Providing means your needs. Providing does not mean me having to go out and buy you a purse. Does not mean you have to have a new sports car every time. Does not mean to be popping bottles. Our first priority is to provide. And our provision means that we take care of your needs. Now, in a perfect world, we're definitely going to take care of your wants. If we care about you, then your happiness matters. Your happiness matters. But I'll be honest with you, if I got you between your happiness and your survival, your happiness will take a backseat to your survival every day because I'm supposed to provide.
There's a difference, though. Like what you just said, that to me, that's stupidity. If you guys live in paycheck to paycheck, it would be stupid to go out and buy Beyonce. Like, there are certain things that may be a want that don't cost anything. And so to just neglect those, to me, that's a big difference. And truthfully, when, she go out and buy a purse, an expensive, knowing, the money is tight, that's disrespectful. So there's different levels to it. And so to me, that's totally different. Totally different.
Wow, that was a good one.
I do think
actually living
most men, they do definitely operate off the needs.
Most people are actually in survival mode. Yeah, you on.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. No, but when I was married before, I remember asking my ex-husband, it was a Facebook question. It was said, something about what he was saying, like, do you rather want it or need it? So I asked the question to my husband, and he said, I'd rather be needed. He said, you can just want somebody else at any time. I was like, okay. But that's probably why I'm still single today, because I think because of social media, the men are tend to try to focus on those wants that are unobtainable. And a lot of times we dreaming up in this world that sometimes I don't know what world people live in. I live in hopefully a normal one, but they're going after those wants and they're missing the needs by a long shot. And it's almost scary. Like, I'm like, if you really can't see my needs, as a single woman, I'm doing all this and the third. Like, I need you to see that. I need you to know, you know what I'm saying? I need you to see that. Like
Right.
I love flowers. I'm a sucker for fresh flowers and I do love them. But I don't want flowers every week over maybe I have to deal with them at all.
That's your love
So
language. You got 5 love languages
I don't
too?
know. I think it's
You don't want that repetitiveness because then it seems like you just have
they're
to
not
do it.
all 100% across the board.
Okay. Can
See,
I give you ladies an example of
For
that
me,
just happened?
I'm really big on words.
okay.
I'm really big on words too. So let me tell y'all ladies this, right? It was something that just went down with a woman. A mother brought her 16-year-old daughter a new car, right? She brought her a Tesla. The little girl went out there. She's like, I don't want the car. And we thought it was ungrateful, right? Ungrateful little girl. She said, I wanted a blue Mercedes, a purple Mercedes, or something like that. So the next day, the mother went, took the car back, and went for what the little girl wanted. And I think for me, a lot of women are stuck in that little girl syndrome, what they want, not what they need. Because you don't see nothing about a little boy talking about, oh, I don't want that's the wrong car. He's going to be grateful, like, hey, you know what? I can get to work, go to football practice, do whatever, drive around with my friend, put my own music, my own box in it, whatever. So
All
I
right,
just want to use
there
that
are
for an
levels
example.
to those wants, though. There are
Yeah.
levels to that, but don't get it twisted. Sometimes a basic want being taken care of can help bring upon the environment that you need to thrive for your need. Like those wants, right? If we're sitting up here and I want compassion, right? I get compassion. I go out here and I rock this thing we call life out because when I come at home, I have my peace. I have my safe haven. So it's like can't this be materialistic? Like don't just focus on the materialistic wants. There are
Okay.
certain wants where you want to feel needed. If you don't get it, you be like, man, he don't need me or she don't need me. And that's a problem. Like, yeah, we have our needs, of course. We're going to be logical about it. We ain't going to be out here spending money knowing the mortgage need to be paid or the car need to be paid. You're not going to be ridiculous in that way. But don't forget that we're human beings. We have emotions. Like, what are we supposed to be robots the
We
entire time?
we
No.
we not forgetting that. But the first cause of divorce is finances.
Let me
Everything.
tell you, if that's the case, if finances was a big issue, as people
It
are
is.
saying,
It
then
is.
why are women laying up with men that ain't got nothing?
So
It ain't about
men been
finances.
doing it for
It's a
decades.
lot of women with men who ain't got a pot to piss in.
Men been doing it for decades. It's not my fault that
I
It's
you just
not. It's
told
think
it.
not that a
It's not
woman
my
will be with
fault.
a man who ain't got a pot to piss in.
It's not my
Nothing.
fault. It's not my
A
fault.
bumaholic. You
It's
know
not
what he
my fault.
doing? You know what he doing? He
What?
just giving her that temporary fix. She gonna figure it out later on. She gonna get that temporary fix, but it didn't come with any money. It didn't cost anything. And I think that's what people are forgetting. We're not robots. We're emotional. If you can get to a person's emotions,
Yeah, but you
but you
just
know,
brought it back to finance. You just brought it right back to finance. The man is not doing nothing. You just said it. You just brought it right back to finance, and she's gonna get it. That she's taking care of the bill. She's paying all this stuff. But guess
eventually,
what?
yeah.
But yeah, eventually.
But
But guess what?
how she first got him and how they first rocked together,
Mm-hmm.
it was not because of finances. It was not because of the needs.
Right. It was because he
It
was
wasn't.
there.
She
It
wasn't
was.
looking at the needs at the time. She
It
was
was.
looking at that want. She wanted to be loved. Think about women who men out here doing everything they need to be doing for the
I
household,
can't
right?
think about women
She
out here.
messed up a great thing because he ain't giving her no attention.
I can't think about another person's relationship that hard. First of all, I'm thinking about my relationship, number one. And number two,
Okay.
if the man has nothing, right? If the man
Mm-hmm.
has nothing,
He has nothing.
you have the house, you have the car or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but you want me to be there. You want me to be there. You want me to be there to hold you. You want me. You want your cuddle companion. You want me to say, "Hey, babe, let me rub your feet. I know you. I know you was over there. Working real hard, doing whatever you doing. Mail delivery carrier. I don't know, but you working real hard. But now I'm there. But now you want to change the dynamics within a couple of years or even months because I ain't doing nothing. I'm still rubbing your feet, and you like, well, you know what?
Those 5 love languages.
That's when you start communicating, like Shadow said. Communication, I feel, would have saved a lot of relationships.
For
that could
real.
If people just communicate.
Mandy, have you ever talked to a woman?
Oh my God.
You ever like talk to a woman like
I mean, communication and understanding. Like to gain understanding is something that you gotta be talking to each other. You gotta be
a
talking
man
to each
can't
other.
get nothing across to no woman. That's what I'm gonna tell you, Mandy. A man can't get nothing across.
I wouldn't necessarily say
I think
that.
at some point you learn.
Honestly, I do feel like a lot of men aren't as their emotional side. Like their emotional, what makes them tick. Truthfully, one of the reasons I feel like you was caught off guard by the question when nigga asked you. Because like men aren't supposed to cry. They're not supposed to feel emotion. It's like they're trained to be robots. You know what I mean? And so I do feel like a lot of men don't get asked, what do you think? What's going on? And so because of that, there's a wall put up. And truthfully, I feel like as women, we do got to be more sensitive to that side. Because one thing about it, especially when you're in a relationship, because when you come home, this is your castle, this is your key. And at the same time, men need to remember that the woman's is a reflection of how you treat her and how you make her feel. And so it's like, I feel like the gender war is more so a battle over who's right, who could do what, instead of as a team. And so truthfully, I kill it as being like a Black woman. I must say so myself. But I know like our Black men have it hard when they step outside of our home. And so we have to remember to be that nurturer, be that peace, be that caregiver when it comes to our Black men. They feel safe. So when they come home, they can recharge and give better to us. And at the same time, we gotta refocus and make sure that they're okay. Because the world them out faithfully. But then it needs to get returned back into us as the Black woman.
Right.
And the problem is when they're busy bumping heads, not out, and knowing willing to get the other one because they're too busy trying to be right instead of trying to make things right.
Let me
Communication and
show you.
comprehending.
That's
Hush.
comprehensive.
Communication and comprehending, those are two things. Like you just can't just be talking and then you're not understanding and listening because it's gonna go in one end out the other.
Exactly.
Hush. Somebody told me to ask you. They say ask Hush. What does he want from a woman?
I want her to be my peace. I want her to be my joy. I want to look in her eye and smile when I come home. And I had that a couple of times. But I just want y'all to look at the panel, right? And notice that the two married men are quiet. You know why? Because that takes years of being with a woman to understand their woman and know that when other women talk, they're just gonna be quiet. They're just gonna hold back like. But if y'all really want to know something about marriage and stuff, y'all need to ask married couples. Don't ask other single people.
I agree with you.
I mean, you gotta think too though. Even as a man, right? And here's the thing, this is why I said communication and comprehension too. Because a lot of these couples nowadays are trying to play victim. Who can play the biggest victim? Oh, your day was hard, my day was hard. How about instead of worrying about how your day was for a second, let me tell you about mine. All right, now let me go ahead and tell you about mine. And people don't like to express that. All right, I heard you said, okay, your day was this, but let me tell you about mine. You didn't comprehend that, and I just told you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You know what I mean? And a lot of relationships are like that. And I feel like if people just sit, like, just give me a reason to want to come home every day from work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come home and sit in the driveway and be like, dang, I'm about to go in. another argument.
Right.
It's about to turn into something. I'm about to hear about your day. You ain't gonna care about nothing I'm
Right.
going through. And that's why I said a lot of men walk around with the weight of the world on their shoulders, but they will never say it. They'll never tell you what's going on. They'll never tell you when there's some financial issues, unless you already know about it. But they won't tell you. They won't tell you when this right here is bothering them. This is pain. This is hurting. Why? Because they're not heard. They're not being comprehended. You heard what I'm saying. You heard every word I said to you, but you didn't really listen. You didn't comprehend it. You know what I'm saying? And then even vice versa. Women are the same way. Because if you look at what happens with women, us as men will listen to you, but half time we didn't comprehend. Why? Because what is it always considered as? Nagging. Oh, she's a nag today. She in a mood. It's that time of month. Instead of sitting there, hey, tell me about your day. Let's come up with a solution for your day. Then flip it. Now you ask me about how my day was. All right, what can we do to move past that? What can I do to make you feel better about today? So that tomorrow when you go to work, you feel better. And on top of that, think about it like this. If I make you feel good tonight, whether your wants or needs are taken care of, you want to come home tomorrow. You can't wait to get off work to come home. To your significant.
I need to come home.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm like, hey, clock, hey, come on when we done working, so I gotta go home. I'm ready to come see you at lunch. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, as men, like, yeah, we were always bred to be that protected, the one that worries about your needs. But here's the thing, when it comes to your wants, sometimes it's not that we don't want to take care of your wants. Here's the thing, we know what you want. We waiting. Right now, let me take care of your needs first. I already know what you want. I'm gonna get it for you. Don't worry. I might not tell you, but I'm gonna get it. I'm just not gonna tell you when. Because that's gonna be my gesture later on to you and be like, hey, babe, I heard you. I understood what you wanted. I know we've been focusing on trying to get the bills up. I know we've been focusing on this, that, and the third. But here's my sentiment to you, because I know this is what you really been looking for. This is really what you've been wanting. And it could be that chocolate cake. You know what I'm saying?
A little Debbie. Get her a little Debbie chocolate with a little swirl cream in the middle.
Exactly.
I'm not no big old
You
cake.
basically want to leave your problems outside the door and be able to come inside at peace, and y'all both have communication and understand each other.
Exactly. Okay. And that's honestly how you get rid of this gender war.
The best way I've ever been able to explain it, because I've had people ask me what's the difference between women that I dated and women that I married. And the best way that I can explain it is that a woman has to, and I think it goes for the same for a man too, but you have to create an environment where your mate feels like they can be vulnerable without being judged.
Yes.
You know,
High five me again.
Yeah, I actually heard a woman on a panel one night said that she wanted her man to be able to be emotional around her, but if he ever cried around her, she would respect him less. And I thought that was crazy. But that, for me, that's the answer. You have to be able to create an environment so that each of us feel like that we can be vulnerable without being judged.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so with that being said, right there, Nia, do me a favor. Give us a solution based upon what you see. If you even think it's a gender war, if you think it's a gender war going on right now between man and woman, give us some solutions. What do you think men need?
I think men do need to be listened to and taken seriously. You're not speaking and saying these things for absolutely nothing. There have been a lot of outrageous complaints from us women that we can have been put on a back burner. Like right now, if our men need our help and our support and our love and our nurturing and affection, give it to him. We don't know what he's dealing with. And open that communication. You know, as you're saying, I hear you. You know, I'm not ignoring you. I hear you. And I hear you. And I'm going to, do what I need to do because I love you. Like actually put that out there. Like, I love you. I hear you. Instead of just thinking people are complaining all the time. You know, if you have a child and your child needs something, you're like, okay, let me figure out what my baby needs and take care of it. Why is it not the same for our partners? Like, why we can't do that? In that space to be vulnerable in, that is extremely, extremely important. We need that in our homes.
Damn, Skippy.
Any other
Shawnee,
any other ladies? Shawnee,
you
Lexi,
gonna
and
make me
Manny.
a cake?
Y'all wanna? Let's go to Shawnee, then we'll move to Lexi. Tell us what y'all think men need.
I feel like I think a lot understanding, respect. I think respect is a thing, and just and however that may look. I feel like when you're just dating somebody, you got to talk a lot. Like I shouldn't be in a relationship with you and I don't even know certain things that you feel deemed to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like most guys like you don't want to be combating in public and stuff like that, but even just behind closed doors. But I think most of all just understanding. Like I have a person that I deal with, I have a lot of understanding. Like it's even testing me and just getting to the root of things. I'm talking about the conversations be so good. Just because I mean, even when I'm rah, which I'm like that a lot, rah, he meets me with understanding. You know what I mean? So it's an exchange. And even when I'm rah, he just like, he know how to tame this lion. I guess. So you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, we talked about the financial exchange. Like for me, a person they have to know when their needs are being met over their wants, right? They have to know that and value it. I mean, because I know what this person gives me. I can't go to the store and buy it. It's not for sale. You know what I'm saying? So I know I recognize those things being met for me. And it don't have anything to do with his pockets.
Okay, so you made a statement, and I'm gonna push this over to before we get to Lex. I'm gonna push it over to one of the gentlemen on the panel. She made a statement of rah rah. Well, a phrase she used was she's a rah rah, and she said she's rah rah a lot. Now we're not gonna use her personal situation. We're not gonna attack her, but let's attack the rah rah. How did it make you feel when you're in a dating relationship, or even if one of the gentlemen that's married on the panel encounters the rah rah?
Yeah, I can go first if y'all want, because I'm not dealing with it. I'm out the
You
front
deal with
door.
some level of it.
Yeah,
Everybody, all those
I
guys,
agree
we
with
done dealt with.
I'm at a
I mean, we done all dealt with
point in my
that.
life where I value.
Let's start with Shadow. Go ahead on. You said we all dealt with it. Drop your 2 cents on it, then we'll move to the trademark.
I mean, all of us done dealt with a rah person. You know what I mean? And it's what can you take? What can't you take? What can you handle? What can't you handle? You know what I mean? If I know you doing that as like a defense mechanism, then of course I can find a way around that defense. But that's me learning you. You know what I mean? Like I thought about something. You kind of made me think about something else too. Like I dated. I don't remember which relationship this was, but I remember at one point a girl said to me, "We're together now. You don't have to keep flirting and all this other stuff." Well, I don't. I'm trying to prove I still want you like I wanted you to day one. You know what I'm saying? I see that defense mechanism, that little rah that you do all that extra. I see it. But guess what? I also see that soft side too. So I can get past the little rah that you have, but guess what? Let me get to that soft side. You can rah all day long, but I know it's another side to you as well. And that's the intriguing part. I want to get to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you tough on it. You put that little face on, a little pouting and whatnot, cool. But guess what? I know once I got you behind closed doors, I'm gonna see the other side. I'm gonna break that down. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't want to get to that point. They see that rah and they, nope, not mine. You too extra. You out there. Nah. How hard are you willing to go for her to get to that soft side? What that old thing? How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you kept licking till you got.
See, I know Hush in his mind, he's probably created the worst case scenario.
Oh, you know it.
But
Hush about to blow something up.
I connect with you on the rah.
Hold on, ladies. Let's we want to address the rah because I think that Mr. Trademark had something to say on the rah-rah, and then Hush was running, so we're going to let him catch back up at the end. The Trademark, go ahead on, drop it in, bro.
I'm going to do a quick survey. Hush, how old are you?
I am 44.
All right. Shadow, how old are you? 30? I think that could be the disconnect. Because when I was younger, I was Shadow. I see the rough exterior. I see the rough exterior, but behind that rough exterior, I see an amazing woman. You've been hurt. You've been hurt. Everybody treated you so bad. I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna show you different. I'm 44 years old right now. I own 3 businesses. I'm sorry. I don't have the time to deal with the rah-rah. Now, are we gonna have emotions? Everybody has emotions, and nobody's gonna be at their best all the time. But there are some people who specialize in being extra. Ain't got time for this no more.
Yeah.
It's just like I equate that to saying he's a good guy when he don't drink. So I just have to, I love him because I know how he is when he's not drunk. But there comes a point in time in your life where I don't take on projects anymore.
Yeah.
I'm more than welcome to help you. We can grow together. But when somebody says to me that I'm extra, that means that they have already identified that there's a character flaw in them and is trying to get me to accept it. I'm extra. I know I'm a whole lot of woman. It take a lot of men to be able to handle me. I ain't handling nobody. So you already telling me that there's a part of you that you know is broken, a part of you that you know that you're gonna act out on, and you expect me to just accept it. No. When I was 30.
No, the woman who says that don't like you.
Yeah, when I was 30, I probably would.
We don't say that to guys we like.
Look, in the words of said the entertainer, I'm a grown ass man, dog. I ain't got time for all that no more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Shani.
Hush, go ahead on and drop it on.
When I said like rah is not like, I'm not using no bad words. Y'all know how I feel. I'm not hitting nobody, not any of that, but it might be. See, I feel like I'm a real, when my man around, I'm a real princess, and it's more being baby than anything. It's not. Maybe I shouldn't have said rah, but I know how
I
to
knew
get
what
a
you
man
meant
to
when
do
you
what I
said
want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right, and then but the thing again, but again, you had to find a seasoned man who can deal with it. You had to find a seasoned man. Right. So you had to find. So through all your trials and tribulations, you had to find a seasoned man who could deal with your rah-rah. This seasoned man ain't dealing with it. You know what? No.
The rah is like a defense mechanism, like they said. I used to be like that, but like I'm the sweetest person. Like once you peel the layers off, like I am the sweetest person. That's how I was before I got into my relationship. He thought I was the worst person probably in the world. He probably thought I had like this nasty attitude. He thought I was mean. But then like when I really like gave it like my all and peeled all the layers off so he could like, I gave him like 100%.
You see, and that's kind of what I was kind of going with, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she might put up that defense mechanism, but at the end of the day, she might be like that. You know what type of woman she gonna end up being. If you dodge her now, who's to say she won't be that one later on? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take that chance. Now, yes, we say like there's an age disconnect, me being 30. Most of me dealing with rah-rah was back in my early 20s. That was it. I'm 39, been married 10 years. You think I care about any of that rah-rah? No. Because I know the woman that I got now, whether she was rah-rah in the beginning, now she the sweetest person you'll ever meet. That's the person you'll come to first whenever you need something or want something. You know what I mean? And if I bypass that back then,
and the rah-rah is not taking your.
My bad, Sonny. I was muting everybody out because I had that background noise.
So I'm saying not in your particular situation, but I'm just saying like, I guess like my worst rah-rah moments is me saying, no, you're going to be accountable for this, that, and this, that, and the third. That's the rah-rah. Like, I'm not, those things work both ways. When you putting out crap, I'm going to let you know that you putting out crap.
That ain't really
And
rah-rah. That's just
right
keeping
or
it real.
wrong. But some
So I have
people
a
view
question.
that as
I have-
rah-rah. I'm like, no.
Why do men try so hard for the rah-rahs though? What's up with that? You already know she coming at you doing all like this and whatever. But you like, you know what? She's soft on the inside. Let me peel them layers back. But then you have a woman who is more sophisticated and able to communicate. She might be sitting there reading a book. She knows what she wants out of life. She's not putting up this big old fight, this big old fortress for you to get in. And you turn around and think, oh, that's sis.
See,
Like,
it's not
what's up
always
with that?
it's not always that though either. Look, I mean, now you done put
And
in a
see, I
different
ain't saying
scenario. See, now you can put in a whole new scenario.
All right, well, hold on. Before we go to a whole new scenario, let's do it like this because I got two parts that I want to drop on this. Hush, go ahead and chime in on the if you deal with the rah-rah, get to the softer side of Sears, or and then I'll come back with a part two question to it.
Hell no. Run, Ricky, run. Run, Ricky, run. I'm running. No, I'm not dealing with that. Find your soft side. How long I gotta find your soft side? How long is that gonna take? 2 months? A year? So I gotta wait until you figure it out? Okay, let me speed up the process. Run, Ricky, run.
Okay. Well, listen, now, ladies, it is your turn. Fellas, do me a favor. Do not interrupt. We want to hear from all the ladies uninterrupted. Ladies, how do you feel when you are dealing with a man that he's always rah rah? Starting with you, Lexus.
I kind of don't like it. I think it's different. I mean, maybe for me because I'm more emotional in a sense. I think I'm too emotional, but like too much rah rah rah. I think there's something like you have a problem that's deep down inside that like we got to get to the root of it and see what's going on to see like why you being so rah rah rah. Because I'm sure that my rah 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 is different from yours. Mine is coming from a place of being hurt a few times and stuff like that. So it's just me being guarded. So then when I get it from you, it's like, hold on for a minute, like what's going on here? That's coming from somewhere like deep down. Let's see if maybe I can get to the root of it, but it kind of like bothers me.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So your rah rah is a reaction from something that has happened to you in the past and it's different. His rah rah is coming from a deeper place that we need to find out what's going on. Can you explain that a little bit?
Because it may not come from a place of hurt as far as maybe me. It may could just be from just things that just bother you and just keep you on the edge at all times.
No, we ain't doing that.
Like it may be different, like y'all are different than women. So sometimes it may be something different. It may not be from you, constantly dealing with BS from women or stuff like that. It could be stuff with you just personal, like with work or just people in general, just things within life. Like it may not be from a relationship.
Okay.
It may not come from a place of hurt. But then too, you got to give the person a chance to even open up to you, to even want to trust you, to even peel his layers off.
Gotcha. I apologize. I was supposed to wait uninterrupted. Yeah, you were supposed to go uninterrupted. My bad. That was just a triggering. I guess I could use that 2022 word that they started throwing around. I was triggered. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll move to Shawnee, Niet, and then we'll go to Mandy uninterrupted.
Usually I do not typically attract men who are feisty. I feel I probably got enough personality for most guys that I date. So most men who come to me are typically calm, just in nature. Their nature is calm. I couldn't deal with another me. I mean, it's just because I have a lot of energy, just across the board. Whatever I've given it, I'm pretty much giving everything I have. So I don't know. I think I may have had one date with one guy who was rah-rah, like real aggressive. Didn't do it.
See,
I can do
I
it.
feel you on that. It may be, that's why I said it may
Now,
be issues deeper.
and when I say like, I feel like there's just a slight, like I really enjoy being pursued. That's my thing. That's what I love to do. But I also know I let the person know who can't pursue me. So usually, and I heard a lot of you guys were saying like once you break down the layers, I'm not saying it like a woman who's interested, she's gonna come with a certain type of tenderness, right? The woman who's like this when you walk, then that's probably not the for you. I'm just saying when you're in something, I know I can be a little spicy. Yeah, and I'm not, and not necessarily like with my tone and my words, but when stuff is not adding up, it don't add up quick, and I need to know. So that's my rah rah. So I didn't been met back with a little rah rah, like nothing physical or anything like that. But when it was time for me to be called out on my stuff, I had to take it. Not well, but I did. So I don't know. I've never been in a relationship with rah rah because usually I have enough energy for everybody.
Well, me personally, I don't think I've ever met a rah-rah man. Like, was he cheering for his football team or something? I never met a rah-rah man who just was in my face, pointing his foot across, saying this is what I need. This is, making all these demands, and I'm having to figure out how to communicate with him, how to get those layers down. I have not experienced that. So if I were to experience that, I would definitely leave him in a pool of him needing to get himself together. He's not ready. And I respect that. He's not ready. And that's just something that he needs to, work on. And that's that. Move on. I'm not going to sit up here and peel down the layers of someone that I want to grow a future with if that's how he shows up in this way where I can't even get a word in with him not being so defensive about it. Like, he's already defensive. Like, wait a minute, I can't build anything with you. Wait a minute. Okay, let me slide this one over. Let me go on, just move on with myself. But if there's something where we started developing or working on and he became this person, I would definitely seek to find out why he is the way that he is. But we have to already been starting to build something. It's not me meeting you like this. I won't have time for him because I already know where I'm heading in life. And I wouldn't try to have that type of energy into my life, period. Coming into it.
Yeah.
I'm coming into looking at you already not where you want to be in life, not able to communicate. And I don't have time. I don't have time for that. People think I'm a counselor, but I always say, if I have to be your counselor, we can't date. We can't date. If I'm your therapist, we can't date. If I'm meeting you like this, we can't date. No. But if we building something and we're working together, yeah, come to me. I'm your safe haven. You can be vulnerable with me, but I'm not starting off that way.
And
I
that's what I
can't.
meant. And that's what I meant, Nia. Like, if I'm already involved with somebody, like something is going on. Like, we gotta see what's the problem.
Mandy, you got any lasting words on this one?
Yes. I have a lot. So the one thing is, two of you guys said that y'all are rah-rah, but it's different because it comes from a different standpoint. But it's like, who's to say that that guy isn't coming from the same standpoint? And truth be told, it's not fair. It's not fair to be like, okay, well, I could do this, but it's different. But because you're a man, it's basically what it's saying. Like, honestly, he could have that same relationship type hurt, and especially for you guys to say that's how you are, but it's different. And then, honestly, I don't fully agree with it yet. But my thing is, like, if we're working on something, yes, I'm your counselor. I'm your therapist. I want to be your go-to person. I want you to be my go-to person, is how I feel. I want to be like everything and above. And so to me, if especially a man nowadays, if a man feels secure enough in me to be his go-to person, to me, I feel like that's an honor. I feel like that's because that's something that most men, especially our black men, don't do anyway. And so for you to pick me to be that person, to me, that's something special. And so yes, I want to be all that and above. But at the same time, going back to the original rah rah, when I hear rah rah, that's arguing and loud, rowdy. I don't have time for that. I don't do that. I don't want nobody that do that. Like with me, truth be told, I don't think I'm emotionally equipped to argue with people that I love and care about. It really bothers me. It upsets my spirit. I don't have time for it. If there's an issue that we can't work out as adults, I'd rather step back from that relationship and end it on a disagreement, end it on us not, whatever it may be. But I'm not about to argue with you. That goes for friends, family, and relationship. I'm not about to argue with you. That bothers me so bad. Like I have people I haven't talked to in years. Not that I don't love them. We just argue. And I don't want to disrespect the relationship that we do have by taking it to a certain level of an argument. So I don't bring the rah-rah when it comes to people I love and care about. And I definitely can't take it. Like that's something I can't deal with.
I got a question though. What is wrong with me saying or feeling as though when I meet you and you need me to be your counselor or your psychologist because you're Rob Ryan, and I say to you, I cannot move on and decide we're going to get into a relationship behind this? Like, what is wrong? Like, I would rather now, if I'm already with this person and I'm starting to develop and find out they have some things that they need, to talk about, I'm there. But if I meet you already like that and I'm already healing myself with communicating, expressing my emotions, and I got to backtrack to pull you with me to get you to where I am in life, what's wrong with letting that person take and do what they need to do for themselves to prepare themselves to where they want to be, and then maybe link later? But if I gotta start off as your doctor to fix you, no.
I feel like there's to it. And so first of all, like I said, rah-rah, to me that's arguing, that's aggressive. I don't do that. I don't come off like that way with people I love and care about. I don't want it in return. That's something is automatic cut off. When you was mentioned about like a therapist or a counselor, more so like I had a really messed up day, they pissed me off at the job. To me, that's something different.
Yeah, that's different.
Because there's also a such thing as deal breakers. Like if you got some deep rooted issues, you got, long-term stuff. To me personally, especially in the dating stage, not as too that could be too much for certain things that are said that meets my deal breakers. But for it's like I said, like the average, let's say the typical counseling, if you may, like you just need somebody to talk to and vent to about. Like I said, I'll say no.
Like friendship stuff is different. Like friendship stuff, we just having conversations. But when it come down, you talking about your mama left you at 3 years old and you never got over your fear of rejection, and you think everybody in the world against you. I'm like, well, why are you trying to get in a relationship? What is this? Like, wait a minute. I need you to fix that. So you
something like
we'll go ahead on and wrap it up with Mandy. Go ahead on and say what you're going to say right now. This will be the last comment on this topic, and we'll move
certain things like that. I don't necessarily see
past halftime.
Versus, okay, well, you got a deep rooted criminal record. You can't keep a job. That's what stuff like that you're venting to me about. You don't know where you're going to get your next meal from. Those, what he's telling me, are my deal breakers, not the fact that he's talking to me. Because truthfully, when you come off, you don't want to be a counselor, as you call it, about regular stuff, like stuff that happened in his past that a different type of person now. If you like the person and the energy that he gives you now, I don't feel like that should be a deal breaker. And so when someone's opening up, it's basically what they're doing to you. You're being that, that person that they go to based on some of the information, because some of the information they could give you may be deal breakers. I don't feel like that should be a problem. Because like I want to know more about you. I want to be your safe place. The same topic that we was talking about, just now, about, the couples and especially the men not being able to come home to a safe place to make him successful, to give us the that we need back as women. It takes that away if on no level you want to be his counselor.
All right. Well, look, that was a good lasting topic. We went deep on that one, and everybody got their point across. The solution base, we could have added a little bit more solution, because I know that there are some people who think that there is a gender war. And I hear it all the time on certain panels that I listen to. That's all they're talking about. Man and woman can't get along. Then you got the women arguing on one side, men arguing on the other. And I just don't see a lot of times we come into a resolution and really making progress to fix it. So with that being said, we're probably going to revisit a topic similar to this later on down the road, man. Thank you guys for your comments. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us on YouTube, watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, you can click at Tmax_network. Subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell that'll let you know when we are live. On Facebook, you can look us up simply Tmax Network. We have a Facebook group page. And with that being said, let's get into this music showcase. Our music showcase today, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Alexis Sky Cohen Boutique. Do your shopping. It's right in time for Valentine's Day. BossSisters.com, uplifting and empowering beautiful, optimistic sisters. You can look them up at BossSisters.com. Mandy's Cleaning Crew, LLC. Get your commercial and residential cleaning on with Mandy's Cleaning Crew, LLC. Guns and boxing. Protect yourself and secure your loved ones with guns and boxing. Also, last but not least, Extra Digit Movement, helping individuals, families increase their income and their cash flow by one extra digit at a time. Our musical showcase, we have Sadiq, aka Money. He's coming to you with an original song versus Shadow Too Real, who won last week's showcase with his song Immortal. Since Sadiq is not here, I don't know if something came up, but we'll go ahead on and start with his song. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you can drop your comments in. Let us know on song number 1. Just put a number 1 in the chat for song number 1. On song number 2, vice versa, drop a 2 in the chat. And this is Sadiq with Be All You Can Be.
Oh yeah. Father God, I pray, cause in a puddle with my tears I lay. All I want is the money, think about it all day. All I want is the money, think about it all day. This for that young and playing ball with no money to eat. And his back against the wall, so he jumped in the streets. Just be all you can be. Look, just be all you can be. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm always with my bitch cause I can't trust them other guys. And I'm riding for my family, so it's fuck the other side. And I think that shit is funny, they don't call when you alive, but they got the nerve to be crying when you dying. Straighten a nigga out like a motherfucking iron. My girl stubborn as fuck, she a Leo, she a lion. My girl stubborn as fuck, she a Leo, she a... To all my youngers, I know you fed up, yeah. Times get hard, but keep your head up, yeah. I got kids I can never give up, no. Father God, I pray, cause in a puddle with my tears I lay. All I want is the money, think about it all day. All I want is the money, think about it all day. This for that youngin' playing ball with no money to eat. And his back against the wall, so he jumped in the streets. Yeah. Just be all you can be. Look, just be all you can be. Now keep your H-E-A-D, U-P and never G-I-B-E. U-P and keep your H-E-A-D, U-P and never G-I-B-E. U-P,
All right. Cast your votes for song number 1, Sadiq, aka Money, with Be All You Can Be. Song number 2, Shadow Too Real with Immortal.
I'm invincible, but I still fight doubt. And the only person that's gonna stop me is me. But once I overcame that fight, can't nothing stop me. I can't die. I'm immortal. Rejected, neglected, I feel disrespected. They told me go left, I didn't learn the right lessons. Been hard on my grizzle, my hustle got deadly. Y'all rap about shit I done murdered already. Ain't changing my image, focused on my vision. Hard-headed, don't listen, fake love, I ain't with it. This path I'm committed, slip up but ain't tripping. My mind always spinning, ain't talking about vision. Just run me, my digits go broke, I ain't limping. It ain't come to me, so I had to go get it. I came from a city with niggas, it's vicious. The love be fictitious, see hate from a distance. It made me a fighter, got pushed to my limits. I took a few L's and then got so discouraged. With God as my witness, from whence I was forged. No golden gate bridge, but I came back a warrior. I came back immortal, invincible even. My faith is much higher than what you believe in. They wanted me gone on my soul, I ain't leaving. Spoke life into every verse you receiving. My music lives on when my bones turn to dust. There's power in words, so bitch you should hush. My mind overflowing in lyrical floods. Fuck building an art, you gon' need you a sub. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal. Creation, destruction, the cosmos erupted. My mind kicked off track of the train I'm conducting. Came out of the dungeon, stepped into corruption. Don't know who to trust, how the fuck I'ma function. This deity trapped in this skin that I live in. They wanted a king since I fit the description. They tried to dethrone me, but I'm in position. I'll show you the wrath of a god from Olympus. You spoke on my name, bro, I thought we was different. Couldn't tie your own shoes, guess that's why you still tripping. That bitch wasn't loyal, guess karma's your mistress. It's hoes over bros, guess you made your decision. That rat in my family ain't talking about splinter. I hope that you feel every verse I deliver, cause hell done froze over, you think it was winter. If you thought for a second I wasn't gon' come get you, I think the Almighty made me in his image, dominion and power, protecting my children, call angels beside me, now I'm in command. Enlightenment all in the palm of my hand. This ain't what you pictured, I wasn't supposed to make it. I'm supposed to be 6 feet up under a pavement. They hate how you live, but show love when you die. Hope you feel the same way when I come back to life. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal.
All right, man. All right, everybody can come on back up. That is Shadow Too Real with Immortal. Drop your ones in the comment section panel. You can go ahead on and hit the back chat. Whether one song for Sadiq, aka Money, with his song Be All You Could Be. Song number 2, Shadow Too Real with Immortal. You guys can go ahead and cast a vote. We're gonna move right along to our next topic. We got a reaction video that we will play first, and then we'll move right into the actual topic. Here's the video.
Got the baby. That's not cute. I'm just telling you. How old are you? 10 or 11?
But look, ever since my brother died, this how I live. Look,
ever since your brother died.
Ever since my brother died, baby.
He lost his blood.
What are you, Tim?
Nothing. I just met him at the gas station. I just
Today.
met this child.
Lil D, man, you from the Hunters, right?
Yeah.
We saw you on the internet. Your video went viral. You was out on the corner sitting on a mailbox with was that a pipe or a gallon of Hennessy?
It's a Hennessy.
Can you show me what's on your ankle? Can you show the camera?
No, I ain't gonna do too much flies. I got a little bracelet on though.
Damn, bro. So you on house arrest right now?
Yeah, bracelet on my waistband. Oh, you must be talking about that road. You must be talking about that little road bro gave me.
I mean, you know, this what it all started for us, you know.
Whoa. Hold on. What's that? Hold on, say it again. What's that? Y'all do it?
You know what I'm saying? That's where we from. It's the pod, Chestnut. You know, we been on the map. We just have failed back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But this our stomach ground. We solid around here.
All right. So that video leads us into this topic right here. The topic is, what are some options for the majority of the inner city youth when selling drugs and gang violence is normalized? We'll start with you, Shawnee P. Shawnee, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
It's glitch.
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, we're going to start with let's start with you, Shadow.
All right, so what was it? What are some of the opinions of majority and the inner city youth when selling drugs and normalized? There's a better way. There's a better way. Like you can always find something to do. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people that grew up with me either learned how to dribble a basketball or pick up a mic. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like that's the stereotype a lot of people get pushed on is either you're gonna pick up a ball or pick up a mic or you're gonna be out there selling drugs. And I feel like that shouldn't be passed on to this next generation. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know somebody once told me, like, look at it this way. If you teach a baby how to start building blocks, they get a little older, start buying them little stuff they can start putting together. Eventually, they might become a construction worker. They might start building homes. They might start flipping homes, stuff like that. You buy a little girl a little nurse set and stuff like that. Let her play around, be a nurse and stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. Eventually, maybe she want to go medical and stuff like that. You got to start putting images and visuals in kids' heads nowadays. And if all they see is drugs, gang violence, and stuff like that, that's what they're going to get into more of. Now, yes, you do have those ones that, yeah, they see that their whole life and they change up and do something different. But a lot of kids are being raised in that environment, and the role models that they have are pushing it on them, not asking if that's what they want to be or, trying to do better. No, it's like they pushing that on them, like, hey, you the next generation of us. So, you know what I'm saying? Here go the, blah, blah, blah. You handle this, you go sell this, you go do that. When I grew up, there was drug dealers and all that stayed down the street from us. Well, I couldn't ride. If I rode my bike near their house, hey, I know your mama. You better head back that direction. We don't have that same community of, dope boys and stuff that we had back then. It's a whole different generation of dope boys now. You know what I mean? Like they bringing these young kids, 5, 10, 11, you know what I'm saying, into the game. And it's not a game no more. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different breed out here now. The OGs, the real ones, they didn't want you out here in this. They tell you quick, hey, this ain't where you need to be. Go on home. This ain't what you supposed to be doing. Go home. Hey, go do this. Hey, I see you play sports. Go pick up that ball and go practice. It seemed like they pushed you more to do better. But now it's normal to see a kid like on that video, you know what I'm saying, with a fifth of hand or, you know what I'm saying, some weed or some money in his pocket from doing stuff. It's normal now. And it's sad because it's almost like nobody bats an eye at it. You know what I mean? And nobody says anything about it. And a lot of people, they're going to be like, oh, it starts at home. It's home training. It's home training. Okay, cool. Home training. But guess who they're hanging around? Them dope boys that ain't doing that for them, that ain't helping them. They ain't telling them not to do this, that, and the third. I could literally go down, like I said, as a kid, and go down the street to right where them dope boys lived at. And they be like, hey, you ain't supposed to be around here. Go on back home. Don't do what we do. Be better than what we are. It's a different generation. This generation don't care. You don't hear anybody 40 and up going around doing drive-bys. You don't hear them out there still selling drugs. And the ones that is, hey, they ain't doing nothing anyway. Because like I told somebody else, If you 30 and up right now, you still out there selling drugs, what are you doing? So like, I'll never knock nobody hustle. Don't get me wrong. And I ain't trying to say that this is that I'm condoning it, but I'll never knock another man's hustle. If you 30, 40 years old, still out there selling nicks and dimes, dog, what are you doing with your life right now? What are you really doing? What's the purpose? Because if anything that you do like that's supposed to get you from point A to point B. If you ain't got there yet, you ain't gonna never get there. That don't mean put that same thing on somebody else. Oh, this kid got a future, so I feel like, one day he gonna be the big. No. How about influence him to go do something else? I remember, some of them used to be like, hey man, ain't you gotta study? Ain't you got this test coming up? Hey, go get in them books. Go focus. Go do this. They would encourage you to do better, to be somebody. Whether or not you remember them in the future and you could help them or not, it didn't make no difference.
Gotcha.
They want it better for you. Nowadays, it's like, hey man, if you ain't with me, bro, you against me, point blank, period. No questions asked. So now a lot of these kids nowadays are scared, so they jump right on in it. They think it's cool. They see the money. They see social media. Again, here we go back to the social media stuff. They see all this stuff, and that's what they want. And they feel like that's the only way to get it. And it ain't. I still go home to this day. When I go home, I still go home to the to certain spots in the hood, and I still talk to some of my cousins, some of my friends, and stuff like that. Be like, hey, man, come on, man, you can do better than that, man. Yeah, I know, man, but ain't no buts, bro. If you got a vision, that's what you need to be focused on. You told me this what you wanted to do when we was kids, right? Why you ain't doing it? Don't say that your environment. Nah, we all came from the same hood. We all did the same stuff back in the day. Guess what, bro? I got the same 24 hours you do. Why you got that kid over there with you talking about something? Oh, he's selling this for me. For what? Get out that mindset. If you want him to do something for you, guess what? Start building something for him. Show him a way, a different way. Show him what A's could get you. Show him that whole being the smartest kid in school. They ain't being no nerd. Cause that same kid who got them straight A's gonna run that business. Yet you gonna be trying to go find a job at. All this trying to normalize kids selling weed and drugs and all this other stuff, that's got to stop. This is the next generation that's coming up after us. And I can say that even being 30, I'm looking at kids nowadays. These are the generation coming up after us. If this is the next generation that's coming up after us, we screwed. There is no generation. Because everybody in this group that has kids, guess what they watching? They watching that. They see all this other stuff. We can train them all we want, but when they go to school, what they see? Those same kids. That's going to be their influence. We could open our mouth and say we want to, but that's their influence right there. It's up to us to teach them the right, wrong, and what not to do. I had a God-fearing woman as a mother. I could run out there and do my dirt, but at the end of the day, I still had that thing in the back of my mind, like, ooh, let me not do this. I could do this, do that, but at the back of my mind, ooh, my mama. Yeah, let me not. I ain't gonna step past certain boundaries. Kids nowadays don't have that boundary. Most parents, want to be their best friend. How many parents you done seen want to be best friends with their kids instead of being parents? So even if you want to go to the whole, it starts at home. Well, okay, cool, starts at home. But guess what? You should be able to train your kid to where I ain't got to question what you gonna do or how you gonna act when you step out that door. You know what I'm saying? And even if you the one out there, you the big dog in the streets.
Sean, I think he was gonna say something before you start pushing.
What's up?
Y'all, I don't really have anything to say. I'm trying to get myself in the middle. And I feel like I'm not proud that I don't have anything to say. I'm not. I guess just in my own mind, I have blinders on. So I don't know. Like my son, I feel like just because he don't live in the hood don't mean it ain't accessible. I'm pretty sure he go with kids who have different backgrounds. He's had his own issues with getting high, smoking weed, caught him smoking weed. And he got it from kids from school. Kids who don't even know what struggle look like. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids don't even know what we just saw. A lot of those kids don't even know what that is. My my son a little bit. Like when I go back home, primarily where I was raised, and I just be so big. I just be like, look, certain choices you make might be what it is. You have to choose. Yeah, we talk a lot about mindset, but I'm like, you got to start thinking about the life you want to live outside of me, and you can start dreaming of that. No, you don't have to wait till you graduate from high school to start imagining how you want to see you at 20 something years old. So, but as far as like, I just feel like our kids just need to be loved on. Like we meet them with so much like violence and misunderstanding. So I'm with Shadow. You know, we should be telling these kids this ain't cool. Even if that's what a person in their 40s and that's what they feel that they have to do in their life. Like you should have enough sense to tell the kid this ain't it. Don't encourage them to do it. Encourage them to like this ain't what you thought it was. You know, and it take also some of the women in these kids' life too. Like I know women who only want to deal with men who run the streets like that, and they have had good men, good, I'm gonna say wholesome men. Like if you could think of a wholesome man, just a real straight do this, but it's fast money. So the women are addicted to it too. And when the women are addicted to, just some of the stuff, the selling of the drugs, the gang violence. You have women out here who are addicted to it too. And I've spent so much time in trauma surgery, y'all. I couldn't even tell y'all how many girls I've lost to gang violence. And I remember when that was, I knew that girls were in gang, but it didn't seem like it was a big thing. Like these girls are taking bullets to the head because they like this fast. I guess it's adrenaline. I feel like it's just like a junkie lifestyle. They thrive for that adrenaline. That what if I get caught? So I don't know. I just feel like our youth, especially our inner youth, they're CEOs there too, and they may be off the chain now, but they're gonna grow up one day, and hopefully they know enough to say, "Hey, I gotta pull myself up by the bootstraps and do something different." But just meet them with love. I know. I mean, I know the men are gonna gear them a little bit more, but as far as a woman, I feel like when we trouble kids, moms, we should be stepping. I step in and help anytime I can. I know a lot of single moms, and they got these boys, they single mama with boys, and I be feeling like, well, hell, I'm a single mama with a son too. Ain't a whole bunch that I know. I'll share what I know. I'll share what the men have given me, but I don't know either. So we just gotta love them, y'all. That's all I have for now.
Gotcha. Appreciate that.
See, my question real quick though.
We'll move to Hush, then we'll jump to the.
Hey, before Hush, let me ask this question though. What happened to the village? Everybody know that old phrase, it take a village to raise children. What happened to that village? Because if I ain't mistaken, at one point in time, it was church, your parents, your teachers, the drug dealer, all these was the village that raised the kids. Where them kids at now? Grown, either got businesses, doing good for themselves. Now that village back, the village that we are now, it's like we don't even look at it. Oh, this kid doing that, let me turn my head. Society even got so soft with certain stuff. You can't say stuff to kids no more. You can't say stuff. You can't pop them. You can't do nothing. And that's what I
You
feel
really
like a lot
can't.
of disconnect is now. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point in time, but hey, as a kid, I guarantee you, you sit there and see a kid fall out when they parents say do this and they just fall out on the floor. You got snatched up quick, whether by your grandma, your mama, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like talking back, that didn't happen. A lot of stuff nowadays, man, it fly like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
I
go to
mean,
the store,
and a
see
lot
that.
of times we can't say nothing to these kids because the threat, like, I'm a nurse. There's only so many things I can do because I got to keep, this is what make the ship sail. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever teach to my kids that they have over me, you know what I'm saying, around, but I gotta be very careful. Like y'all heard me come in on I had to get on my boy. Y'all heard me. I had to get on it. I had to get it. Oh, I had to go back to the 80s and remember how mother did what she had to do because I was acting out in school. Well,
and you see
my
nobody
brother,
on
not
this
me.
panel bat an eye at it either, because we knew you was handling your business.
You know, right. But you have to be careful because if these kids, I've had CPS come to my house before because I understand my big boy, but don't ever come for me.
Yeah.
And that woman, baby, who knocking at my door? Because nobody know where I stay. So I already knew, but the baby's a little. Elijah, come on. What is this lady talking about? And then, and just the things that we even teach our kids in school. So you done had somebody talking about had a whole body search at school. Man, no, this didn't happen. So when I asked you how was your day, because that's a constant in the household. You didn't think to tell me that. So it's certain things that we do, and these kids know they have us by the kahunas because corporal punishment gets you in jail. You know what I'm saying? So, and they know it. A lot of them do know it. I don't think that in that time I don't think it was anything malicious for my son. I really feel like he was baited into the conversation because I'm a tough mom. Like I'm just tough.
A lot of them are baited into those conversations if you think about it. Because look at what they usually say. Oh, so you got in trouble yesterday. So what your parents do? Oh, I got a spanking. Oh, they hit you? And you see how it escalates from there. If you'd have said that back in the day, you'd be like, oh, what's your mom and them do?
Yeah.
I got a spanking for it. Did you learn? You see what I'm saying? You see the difference there. Now, am I saying spankings and poppings and all this is always necessary? No. I can talk to my kids sternly. I ain't got to put hands on them. If I say a certain thing a certain way, they know daddy mad. Daddy, I messed up. I did wrong. And daddy's talking to me and making sure I fix it. And we ain't gonna have this problem no more. You ain't always got to put your hands on people either. If you can say something a certain way, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's a big difference because you there to do that to your child. You actually there, so you have the ability to do that. That kid right there, he ain't got a home to go to. His mama probably out more than he is. So the thing is, we gotta lead the weak. I'm sorry, burn it all down. We gotta lead the weak and start rebuilding. Because at this point, that young man is gonna go to jail, right? He's gonna do 20 years. He's gonna come out looking fine and doing all the wave caps and coming out big and buff. And now you got a 30-something-year-old bigger convict outside. So you could stop him now while he's little. But when he's bigger, he might do something worse. Or he might change his life. Who knows? But the whole thing is, why do we even have to wait until that point when we can just get rid of the whole thing right now? I say get rid of the whole thing. Now, of course, it ain't gonna happen. Of course, we can't get rid of the whole thing. But look, if people start taking precedence in their safety, start taking precedence and stop saying, you know what? Well, let's show them love. Let's show them compassion. First of all, we have other entities that don't love us. We look at and we see it every day. They definitely don't love us, and we see it every day. So why would I even subject myself to something like a little shorty like that that's drunk out of his mind, probably got a pistol on him, and like my car coming up. Oh, yo, I like that car. How much you want for it? Oh, I got the big knot. Well, shorty, get out of it. Oh, you know what? You disrespect it. He's 13, 12. Like, come on. Why I have to subject myself to something like that? Get rid of it. Why? And then you see the big doofus that was standing right next to him. Oh, this is the way it is. This is the way. No, it's not the way it is.
And see, that right there is where the problem is. Because think about it. Even him, he looks up to somebody. Right. And that person was standing right there in the video with him and ain't stop him or say nothing.
Right. So where are they going? And then because your son got an ankle monitor on, your parents is not disciplined. So therefore, you're not disciplined. Therefore, we got to get rid of all of it. All of it. If your parents is not disciplined, we got to get rid of you because you're not disciplined. You got an ankle monitor on. Guess what? In New York, they had a system thing that if you caught a felony and living in the projects, they was kicking your whole family out. They didn't care. If you caught a felony at the age of 12, age of 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever your age was, and you living in the projects, your whole family gone. That's what the mothers did. They kicked them kids out. Said, you gotta get it from here. You gotta go down south. You gotta go somewhere else. You gotta do something. Because I gotta live here. Don't implement more plans like that. Let's put more of that in effect. But other than that, I say, hey, look. And then is the ignorance outbreeding the intelligence in our community? So if the ignorance is outbreeding the intelligence in our community, why does the intelligence have to sit there and figure out a solution when they already know that they're not doing good? They're not doing good, but they're gonna continue because they want to have fun. They don't want to listen. They want to have discipline. I mean, they don't want to have discipline.
Right. So in this case, it's more so the intelligent being you as a parent. You know what I'm saying? That's where it starts. Saying, yeah, I can't save the whole
That's where
world,
it
but I can
always
definitely
started.
save my kids, though. You know what I'm saying?
But that's where it always started. It always started with the parent. You
You're right.
want better for your child. You want your
Right.
child to exceed more than you. You want your child to have more than what you have.
Exactly.
That's why you go to work. That's why you do that. But now a lot of since the topic is out in the city youth getting out of control because we have more and more of that what we just saw, that bullshit.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
You know what?
Like down. Sorry, guess what? Gentrification. We got gentrification. Look, you know what? Hey, shit. This was to this Section 8, this whatever was to help you get up out of here. But since you can't get up out of here, since you're abusing whatever you have to abuse, since you don't want to do this, you want to smoke weed, drink Hennessy at 13, 14 years old with your older cousin, nah.
Because I mean, even when I was growing up, but my mom used to tell me straight up, I don't go to visit jail cells. I don't go to jail. I don't go see people in jail. That was enough for me to be like, I'm all right, cool.
I ain't gone, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Them mothers don't care. Them fathers probably in jail. They don't care. But it's gonna cause a bigger problem. I'm telling you. It's gonna cause because right now he's small. But when he goes to jail, get big and learns how to be a better convict, it's gonna cause a bigger issue.
Watching that video touched me. Like it touched me super hard because it's like what gets glorified is I don't have another option. This is where I'm from. This is how we do things over here. That gets glorified. The problems gets glorified. We all know the struggle already. We're talking about the resources. One of the resources that I had was the ability to go and travel. But I got that with good grades though. And I can't sit up here and say I had someone to come home to. I just had to deal with a pain of losing my brothers and my sisters. When I say brothers and sisters, meaning I personally, this is me as a young girl, I personally did not want that as a part of my future. If they don't see that as a problem, you really can't get through it to them because you are glorifying that is normal. That is what happens. Right? And so you talk about the guys on the corner. Now, I have real pet peeve with them older guys on the corner. Say, go back down there. I got pet peeve with them. You know why? Because children don't do what you say. They do what they see you doing. And it's working for you. It's working for them. So why were they going to sit up here and be like, oh, yeah, I should do a ball. You know, they're the ones who gain the mentality of what works for the street guy, the whatever. But I got this ball over here. You know, they the ones who get shot and killed. Well, deleted. You know, they the ones who get it because guess what? They did not learn how to survive in that type of environment. So you can't just be giving them a ball when you're showing them the street life. That don't work. It just don't match. Only thing that will match is you changing their environment. Stop making it cool. Stop making it a necessity to be in the streets. And you know what, stop? You hear people going to get further education. They're not getting educated on their finances, are they? They're not getting educated on parenting, are they? They stopped. They finished high school. They went and got a job to survive. They went and signed up for them government assistance programs. You know what that does? That gives someone else control over your life. You have absolutely no idea what you're capable of achieving because guess what? Somebody keeps glorifying the money, the cars, the clothes, the women. That's what we're seeing. That's normal. No, if we send people on yachts, having business meetings, if we normalize that and showing like, okay, these are the skills that it takes to operate a business. These are the skills that it takes to communicate effectively. These are matter of fact, this is a safe place where you can share your emotions with all of us. Like our people or people in those neighborhoods are undereducated people. They have absolutely no idea what they can obtain themselves, which makes it a normal environment for our children. Whoever recorded that of that little boy, why? What you want to show people how bad he was? Or show people how this is ridiculous in our neighborhoods? Is that what it was? We already know what's going on in our neighborhood. How did you help him? How did you help him? You thought it was funny? Oh man, yeah, I seen you up there. You on the corner. You know why? He ain't had no respect. He's still bragging like, yeah, man, you must be talking about this. You're recording it to showcase what? Somebody's baby being misled. Someone's baby who's going to be in jail. Someone's baby doing, not having his future. And then you want to turn around and put a blind eye on when it comes to personal and self-development for yourself. You don't want to do that. You want to look within. You don't want to look within you to make yourself a better person. Yeah, because you're trapped in the struggle. You're not getting your finances together. You're not doing your parental classes, but you're going to school to survive, taking business education, getting nursing degrees. That's what we're doing to survive. We're not building legacies. We're not building families. You leaving them home to cope and survive without you because you're working 10, 12 hours a day. You're not trying to get residual income. You're not trying to have your investments, your money working for you. You out here, oh yeah, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Meanwhile, it's me, and lift your children out here for someone else to raise. Especially y'all sitting there leaving your children getting raised by the television. What do you think they watching? Think they're watching Pokemon? No, they ain't watching no Pokemon. No, they're not. They're out here watching somebody else getting what they call the lifestyle that they see on TV. The lifestyle that's being broadcast on social media. And the fastest way to get that is to hit up the corner or hit up my people who showcasing all this fly stuff, this money, the cars, the clothes. And I'm going to wrap it up. Bottom line, educate our people. Educate those people. Stop sitting them there giving them a pass. Like this is normal. It's not normal. If we're going to have poverty, yeah, we're going to have poverty because that's just part of the world. We're going to have poverty. But what type of poverty are we going to have? We're already in educational poverty. We already have that. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to launch the libraries? Remember they had some library buses that used to come. They used to have the church buses that used to come.
All right, we'll go to I think Alexis, Ken. I'm not sure. I don't think Ken commented on this, and I don't know if Mandy did or not. But we'll go to Amanda. Did you comment on this already? All right, we'll go to Alexis and wrap it up with Ken.
The video was very disturbing, like beyond disturbing. It pissed me off. For him to be on an ankle monitor, for the little girls and everything standing on the side, to think that was so cute, that was just ridiculous. the guy that was standing on the side of him says that he tries to tell him to get out get out the streets. The little boy said he goes to school, but you could be doing more than that. It takes, like y'all say, it takes a village, but it has to take a strong village for people that are wanting the kids to do more. Excuse. But a lot of kids nowadays, like the older guys have the younger kids out here in the streets breaking into cars, killing people, the whole shebang. The parents are young, the parents are leaving the kids inside. The parents are not doing nothing with the children. So when your child go to school, it's just they're not learning, they're not focused. They're more worried about learning like what's going on in the streets, what's worrying about social media. So they need more people to set an example for them, like people who really care about them. The children that's like that little boy, I wonder where his mother and his father was. Maybe they probably be in the streets too. So what example they were gonna set for him? None at all. I just think that was a complete mess. It disturbed me like very bad. They
All
need
right,
more guidance.
Mr. Lawrence, trademark.
Man, one of the things that I was blessed to have growing up was structure. And we talk so much about having two family households. I never grew up in one of those. My dad died when I was 3, and I was raised by my mom and my grandmother. But the thing that I think I was blessed with was that my grandmother was on a fixed income and she didn't work. So every day when I came home from school, there was going to be somebody home that had structure. When you walked through the door, you were going to eat. After you ate, you were going to do your homework. You didn't go outside until your homework was done. You had chores. So even at an early age, I had structure. But nowadays, too many of adults are not living up to their expectations. Um, the village was there. We could go to school and we could get our ass whooped by teachers and get our ass whooped again by the neighbor and get our ass whooped again by our parents, and it was okay. When we were young, our coaches could get in our ass and wouldn't nobody say anything about it. Now we've gotten in a society where nobody wants us to tell our kids anything. But most of the time, I think Nied said that the televisions are raising our kids. You got a lot of kids that are raising their younger siblings because the parents are having to go out and work long hours. And I'll say this, and it may not be a popular topic, but think about how different life would be if we had more two family households, or if we had more structure in the house, or even if we had situations where we didn't push such an elaborate lifestyle that women could actually stay home and raise the kids while the men went out there and slayed the dragon. And I know nowadays that's a taboo topic because women don't want to be stay-at-home moms. But if you think about that, a lot of that is because society has programmed them now that they can't trust a man. So they feel like that they gotta go out there and do it. So it's like breakdowns on both ends. And unfortunately, the kids are the outcome showing that as parents, as adults, we're doing a bad job. And even when I was young, there were still kids that didn't meet the standard. There were still kids that academically didn't do it, that stayed in trouble. But our school, they would segregate them. We had a program to where our teachers would not let the class clown prevent the kids who wanted to learn from learning. So the kids who were troublemakers, they had a place for them.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that were a little bit slower catching on to the schooling, they had a place for them. And they had an opportunity to advance. If you were a kid who were in trouble a lot and you showed that from a disciplinary perspective you were doing better, they would promote you to the class where you were with regular kids at. But they kept the troublemakers with the troublemakers. And typically there was always a man that was in those classrooms with those kids that would instill some type of discipline in them. Believe it or not, all kids want discipline. All kids want
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times when you see them acting out that way, that's just their way of saying that they are in a deficit when it comes to attention and structure. Now, our politicians don't get off the hook for that because in a lot of small communities, there's not a lot of things for kids to do outside of school to prevent them from going and being on the corner. Our churches don't get a pass because nowadays the church is not as a big a part of the black community as it used to be. The church used to be a pillar in our community. Now the church is just somewhere that a lot of people go for status symbols. You know, preaching is not even preaching anymore, and that's a whole nother subject. But I just think we need to get back to the basics. We need to get back to doing what we know traditionally has worked. And I, you know, once again, it's one of the situations where I say this. I would never have a problem with being with a woman who was a professional, who worked the job. But just like I know that it is my primary position to be a provider for my family, I would want my wife to be in a situation where she didn't feel like she was forced to work, to have to go out there to put her job before her family. So we got to get back to a point to where we start establishing these gender roles and don't see it as something negative and understand that these kids need structure. They need guidance. And as long as we're putting the money and status before raising our families, we're going to continue to get the results that we've been getting.
True that. True that. Has everybody chimed in on this one before we move on?
Did want to speak on that a little, and pray my kid like a lot of things that I did want to say, even down when it comes to the politicians, because like you stated, I don't feel like they push the community activity as much as they used to. You know, like the Brother and Me, the Boys and Girls Club, it was all types of programs out there for kids to actually get out and about, but under a supervised setting. But at the same time, first and foremost, we're failing our kids as parents because regardless of how many programs are for our babies, it's up to us. When it's said and done, we are our children. A lot of us don't take it seriously enough. I don't care how troubled your child may. There's always a way to parent them in a way that fits them is to get the point across. And so it starts in we have to take accountability as parents in the same way in the village. Again, it's up to the parents to create that village for our children. And that's because as a y'all mentioned, someone try to say something to your kids, the problem that messes up our village. No one could, you know what I mean? It's like you're so often everybody's wrong. You can't do or say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, that pushes your child away. And then we really have to take it seriously as parents. Like the dude on the street, he should be telling your kid to go. But first and foremost, why you're out there? You're his parent. You should do that. You are the first person responsible for making sure they're in the house at a timely manner, seeing what they're doing. No one's perfect. If they get out of line, discipline them in a way that fits them and the gets to them in a way that they can parent. Because at the same time, you can't parent your kids the same exact way. I had
Amen.
one that was a handful to have. I signed my parenting
Is
classes
it me or is he?
just that one child. The other kid, it was perfect. I had a mom figuring out how to parent that one the right way that he needed to be parented to pull him back in. I signed myself up for that. Those are things that we lack in responsibility and accountability for the people that we bring into the. And yeah, like
Oh, Mandy.
influence our kids, but if if your child is looking on the outside as their role model, it's a problem at home.
Mandy, but that's what I'm saying. The problem is, right? If Planned Parenthood was free, that kid wouldn't be here right now.
Or if you
That's the problem. No,
Hey,
that's the problem.
let's do
So,
this. Let's do this. So we're gonna transition to our next topic. I think everybody added in a lot of detailed information or thoughts that they had on this topic. Granted, it is a triggering topic, uh, and I don't even like that. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to highlight you, Ken. I meant to mute you out. I think you got some feedback coming over there. But I don't even like that term. But I know that a lot of us will see this in this setting right here, and it's like we'll see this in this setting, and it's like our first time seeing it, but it's really not, because at the end of the day, here's what happens. We know what's going on, but we typically don't see it until it's at an end result, and the media feels like that they want to highlight that one case all the way out in Milwaukee or all the way out in Chicago, but it's going on all the time. It's kids like this young man all across the country, in the South, North, East, and West. But a lot of times we don't see the details of it. Even those girls that was hanging there around them, you got that in every inner city and every little cliques in in the streets. One thing I'll add to it before we move on is that we talk about a village, and Mr. put in there that the village is burnt down. A couple reasons why I observed things being different from when I grew up is that more people nowadays, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, sometimes even in their 50s, more people nowadays move around more than anything else. More than any generation that I've seen, all right? Any time period I've seen. A lot of people picking up and just move. And then they get tired of one city or a job, relocate, or they like Trademark was saying earlier, like we glamify the luxury lifestyle. People are choosing the cities that they want to live in based upon what jobs give them the more money. And we'll pick up and we'll move because of location and job or salary. Another thing is, when we are rooted to our homes, we don't know our neighbors. If you're not living in an apartment or a condo, and a lot of times people are so much on the go, going to work, pick the kids up, come back home, going to work, pick the kids up, come back home. Even in apartment complexes, a lot of times they don't know who lives around them. And I just see that being a big part. The community is no longer a community. Not only can neighbors or people in your neighborhood can't tell your kids nothing, they can't tell us nothing either. Like, we hardly speak to one another when we go outside. We'll see our neighbor, we might wave, but if you don't really know them like that, that's as far as it goes, a wave. So I just think that we should, if I had to come up with a solution, it's a lot of difference that can come from it, but it starts at home. That'll be my last comment on that. So moving right along, man. Hey, appreciate everybody for dropping in their comments out of YouTube and Facebook, and we really thank y'all. Continue to support and subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments. Every comment will be read or shown on the screen. At some point, we'll transition to where we'll let all the comments accumulate up, and then we'll read them off at the end of the day. I read this one right here. Mr. Tony Holland says, greed and corruption are winning over making a change for our youth. You're absolutely right. I don't know if I read this comment here from Mr. Holland. Said, in order to get back to the basics, the laws have to change. So you're right on that, man. Absolutely right. We'll move on to our last main topic of the night. If you have paid attention to our thumbnail, the main topic of the night is our lives are in their hands. 25 of 7,600 nurses, acquired false diplomas. Now, some people may blame nurses. There was an organization that spit out these 7,600 false diplomas that the nurses took advantage of. And then they went on and they said in the news that they still don't know if any patients were affected by some of these. They're still doing an investigation. So without further ado, we'll play this little clip. Then we'll bring up the topic.
News from federal authorities. They've arrested a group of people accused to thousands of students.
Those students then use the bogus diplomas to take licensing exams and get jobs as nurses, some of them right here in South Florida.
And 3 formerly accredited nursing schools sold phony diplomas and transcripts for an average of $15,000.
When we talk about a nurse's education and credentials, shortcut is not a word we want to use.
Authorities allege around 7,600 fake nursing diplomas were sold by the South Florida schools, totaling well over $100 million paid.
All right, man. As we saw on the news, and that was just a short clip, those are still coming in as they investigate. Before we bring the actual banner with the topic on it, it's a unanimous decision. To lighten the mood a little bit from the last topic, it's a unanimous decision. Congratulations to our man Shadow 2 Real, representing on the musical showcase. Everyone who chimed in on Facebook and YouTube, they dropped the number 2 in the chat, and our panel, it was unanimous as well. So congratulations, young man. Continue to do what you do. Since you didn't have your opponent here in person, we want to give a shout out to my man Sadiq, right? AKA Money, bring his song "Be All You Can Be." Sadiq, we appreciate you, bro. If you're out there watching, if you see the replay, continue to support the channel and drop your music. That song was dope. If you and Sadiq plus anybody else that's listening, if y'all have friends, family members, or people that you know who are up and coming artists, let them drop their music as well by going to by going to Tmax Network LLC at gmail.com. So appreciate you, Shadow 2 Real. There it is. All right. So the banner that we'll run the last topic on is that we put our lives in the hands of doctors and nurses daily without question, but question who made the potato salad. Why is that? Y'all like that? I knew that last topic was going to get us all riled up, so I had to throw something in there to really lighten the mood. But we put our lives in the hands of doctors and nurses daily without question. And not only doctors and nurses, we put our hands in the lives of airplane pilots, people that work at restaurants. We put our lives in the hands of so many others who we don't even question, a day-to-day operation of things that we do, because some things are automatic. I think we've been conditioned to, and then those other things that come towards us that may or may not mean us no harm, we question every turn because of maybe who it come from, what they look like, or something that has happened to us in the past even. So I opened up the panel. I muted everybody out because we had a TV or some background noise. So if y'all can control your background noise, appreciate it. But us can unmute, and we'll start this panel off because I think Mandy ended up closing out everything. We'll start out with, and y'all try to keep it short because it's the last topic, and we'll have a group discussion. Mandy, we'll move to 2 Real, and then we'll jump to Shawnee.
Who put the raisins in the potato salad? But honestly, I think that it comes with a certain level of trust to where, we're kind of programmed to just find a doctor, to just go there. We kind of just hold them to a certain standard without question. And I think that's more so what it is versus actually doing research on before we pick certain providers and stuff like that, which can be our downfall. But it's like at the same time, like, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have necessarily thought to question, you know, is your diploma real? Like, do you even qualify for that type of position? Versus, potato salad. It's who made it.
Shadow, go ahead on drop your 2 cents on this one, then we'll move to Shawnee.
I mean, if you look at it, most time we don't question people on stuff anyway until something's wrong anyways. You know what I mean? Like, if you hear, oh, this doctor has lost like 4 patients, then you automatically like, you don't know if it was something that they couldn't stop or that they couldn't prevent. That's just automatic, something wrong. But when you first initially go to a doctor and you hop on a plane, fire and rescue show up, you automatically think, okay, we're good. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like we said, as soon as somebody bring potato salad, everybody looking at it all lopsided, and nobody ever want to be that one person at a cookout period and be like, who made this? Because as soon as you hear the words, who made this, you know something ain't right. You know what I mean? So we got to, like we said, do the research and stuff like that as well. But, I wouldn't have thought, hey, let me see your diploma. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But yeah, it's crazy that people are out there, doing stuff like that, trying to pass off as doctors, nurses, or, all these other people getting degrees. Because, I mean, even what was that, a few years back? Wasn't there a little, what was he, like 10 or 12 or something like that? Was posing as a doctor or something like that. And I'm like, how y'all even got him that far? And nobody thought to even be like, hey, wait, hold on. Why is a 12-year-old giving me my prescriptions? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff is weird. I don't even know how to even come at this topic. It's yeah.
All right, so Shadow, before we go to Shawnee, I know that you communicated that you might have to run, man. We appreciate your time and we appreciate your music, but I don't know, I flashed it up there pretty quick. But Mr. Anthony Hollins out of Hinesville, Georgia, said, "Yo, I got some connections for Shadow. So Shadow, go ahead on and let them know where they can find you, how they can reach you, if they want to hook you up with the right type of people to put you in position."
Bet that, man. I actually got family out there in Hinesville, Georgia. But you can reach me on Instagram, shadow_2real, Facebook, Tay Campbell, or go to my Shadow 2 Real page. Music on every platform. So just put in Shadow 2 Real, you'll find me on every platform. So yeah, definitely. Like I said, I appreciate being here. I love each and every one of y'all. I love being on this panel. And you can definitely expect to see me more. For sure.
All right, man. Well, look, man, we appreciate your time for dropping in, and reach out. Y'all find one another. His Facebook name is Anthony Hollins. If you look him up, his profile picture looks just like that right there. Man in a suit with blue arm sleeves. I know that's right.
All I got to do is go to this video, this live. He the most commented person on here, so I'm gonna find him quick.
There it is. See, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. We appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
We'll talk to you soon.
For sure.
All right, so we'll go ahead on and move to Shawnee P, and then we'll jump to Mr. Lawrence and let Hush and Alexis close us out.
All right. Well, I'm so conflicted with this because I'm a registered nurse, and just the entire time I was just thinking, like, I can't just study on my own and pass boards. And I say that even more so now. I'm not condoning anything what we did. We know that everybody ain't gonna make it, right? So out of 7,600 diplomas I issued, what was it, about 1,000 of them that actually passed boards? I think that's what I kind of read. So, and I will tell y'all that I went to a real small nursing school. Out of 65 people, I think only about 20 some of us made it. And probably even less than half passed boards. Only thing that, I mean, I hate that they did the way they did because you just got to put that time in. Like, you don't get to skip that process. But when they sit and take boards, that board deemed them as a safe nurse. Because it's not going to let you pass it without, the way that the test is set up, it's an algorithm, and the worse you doing, the easier the questions are. So it try to gauge you to see how safe of a practitioner you are. So you can take as little as 75 questions. You can take as much as 270 some questions, and you have so many hours to take it. So the people that actually passed it put in some work, because it's not easy. When I say, I feel like nursing school was harder than boards was a breeze for me. I mean, them girls was crying like, oh my God. I'm like, my actual nursing school program was harder than the boards I actually set for. So y'all don't get to, I know y'all out there, if y'all listening, shame on you for skipping the process. We just all have to go through that grueling process. But I know more unsafe nurses who have been through the process, who have passed boards, and I wouldn't want them to touch me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just hey, I feel like how did this operation even get? So I feel like what happened was somebody paid their little money to get their diploma and couldn't pass boards. Now you mad. You still got to put that work in. Like I ain't saying that it can't be done, but it takes a special person to sit for boards without having any type of classical training. Some of it can look like common sense, but most of the questions are very, very complex. So I don't know. I just feel like I know more educated, unsafe nurses.
All right. Well, listen, check
And
this out.
then I feel like it probably was the board doing some stuff too. Because how did y'all release? Who failed? This had to come from? I'm telling you, it wasn't just a one person thing or one entity thing. Somebody had to have some type of connection with the board of nursing, because I'm telling y'all, the way I hounded them, so your school released your transcripts to the board of nursing. The board of nursing do their background check, everything check off, then they release you a number. I bet it was somebody at the board of nursing giving out them numbers, because you can't sit with it without it. So it's, man, so people about to get in trouble. y'all in trouble.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to add to it too. Yeah. So that's what I was going to add to it too, Shawnee, because I forget what college that was. I'm sure y'all seen it a couple years back or so. There was a college where rich kids had their parents had the money and the power, and they cheated their way. They either cheated their way into the college, or they graduated from the college by buying it. So a lot of times,
It was
money
like
and
a
connection.
Harvard or something. It was one of those high ranking schools that them kids, they done paid their
Yeah,
kids. It's the same difference.
Ivy League school.
Coming out with
Wasn't
all
it those
these advanced
celebrities
Hmm.
went to jail for that?
Yeah, that's what it
So people
was.
went to
Those
It
jail
was
for that.
celebrities.
celebrity. Hmm.
Yeah, they went to jail for that.
Yeah. So when you said because the only thing that brought that to my mind is when you said that 1,000 out of the 7,600 actually passed the board. The first thing that came to my mind, if I had the money and the power to buy, because did you hear the amount of money it took to even buy the diploma from the fake organization? So they had some money, right? Well, they saved up a long time just to do something false, but there was some money there,
Mhm.
and I think that if they had the money to do that, then they probably had the money to grease some palms at the board. But another thing, real quick, and then we'll move to anybody else who ain't chimed in on this. Another thing too is that we got to look at um, how many fake what they call it, because they named this thing, the breakdown on, they named it Operation Nightingale, from the famous nurse
Mhm.
Florence Nightingale. And
Mhm.
when the feds or somebody crack down on something, if anybody know anything about that, they have all of the information they need when they come to get you, right? So they've been watching
Oh
for a
yeah.
while, but how many fake diploma organizations haven't been caught? That was one rink that they ran
They
up
about to
on of
tighten up.
7,600. and that was just out of Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale area. So we got a whole country out here that
And they were so strategic, even to where they
I'm sure
tested it.
only places happening.
So it's like, man, it's about to be some mess because I was like, no, don't test here. Go to New York and do it. And then, especially during that time during COVID, y'all, it was just so crazy that they were probably so desperate for people. They was just like issuing out whatever. They was getting, I'm talking about I'm a compact state holding licensed nurse. So I think the only where I can't practice, I think is like Illinois, a couple, they just kind of sporadic, but I can mostly go anywhere and practice. But they were so strategic as to say, go to New York and get your license. I'm like, this is so much bigger than what they're showing us because they're about to be in trouble. Some of these women, and I'm just, and men, it's female dominant, so I'm saying women, are nurse practitioners. They are nurse practitioners. They done sat through 2 boards. Then put that grueling time. That's I'm like, okay, so when y'all went to go get the NP, was it another diploma? Like, you know what I'm saying, type situation that you actually get into school? It's so many hands in this because I'm like, this ain't that surface. Ain't nobody that cold enough for just a little school to get away with it. It's some upper level stuff on there.
All right.
It's crazy.
Who hasn't chimed in on this one here? Mr. Lawrence, Hush, Niet. I don't know if you have Mandy. I think it was just Too Real and Funny.
Well, in this situation, I really don't know what to say. I think if nothing more, it just illustrates how often we take things for granted. Even with the airplane pilot scenario, that's life and death on an immediate level. You get on the airplane, you just take for granted the person behind the door that 9 times out of 10 you never even see is who they say they need to be there. So I mean, we just take a lot for granted when it comes to situations like that. And I'm not proficient enough in the medical field to know what all the parameters and the boards and the certifications and all that type of stuff is. But like Shawnee was saying, it's obviously a lot of people who were in on that scenario because there's not one governing body or one agency that could make that call for all of that to happen. So yeah, hopefully they actually get to the bottom of that and do some investigative work and find out who was at fault for that. But the thing that I think about is this: like, okay, you get the certification, you get the job. Now what? You don't know what you're doing. So doesn't it become obvious, like
they
on
teach you
day
everything
one?
you know.
Yeah, it becomes obvious on day 1 or day 2 that here's a person that has a certification, and you trying to give me, you trying to stick an IV in my arm, or you trying to draw blood, and you missing. You don't know what you're doing. You sitting there with this confused, this dazed look on your face. And now that you've gotten the job, you paid all this money for a degree or for a certification. And when you actually get the job, it's obviously that you're not qualified to do what you say you qualified to do. So even the person that got the degree, I don't think they thought that thing out very well.
But trademark.
Well, what happens is a lot of these women, I was just about to say, a lot of times I've sat in my boards, I sat next to bachelor degree prepared nurses who had never started an IV, not even once. As soon as you get to the hospital, they just act like you don't know nothing. They teach you everything you know. They teach you everything you know.
Isn't that how it is in a lot of positions anyway? They even telling people, go ahead and embellish your resume because they say when you get to the job, they're going to train you how they want you to do the position anyway. So what a lot of people have been doing, I'm not sure, I can't name anybody, but they've been wanting those shortcuts. All right, so I'm just going to do this real quick. You know why? Because I got to get to taking care of my family now. Let me go ahead and invest this, pay this real quick. So now I can get the income that I need to take care of my household. They're going to train me on the job. A lot of times they're not even getting in it because of their passion. They're getting in it because of the income. Because why would you want a shortcut on your passion? Why would you not want to master your skill? Why would you not want to do that? So we already know why to get into the industry, and obviously get into the medical field has been labeled as an industry that's, of growth, in an industry where you can make high and top dollar without, you're gonna get trained. Like without, like most time when I've been seeing them, right? Yeah, they come in pairs and they're always shadowing someone else. You always can call somebody, hey girl, come and do this for me. I don't even know what I'm doing, how to get this to work. I'm sitting in the doctor's office myself, and they're calling somebody else in the room. They don't have to know how to do it right away. They say, I'm gonna
Everybody had a
show
first
you.
day.
Exactly. But everybody have a long first day. I mean, I'm not gonna say everybody. A lot of people have a long first day. And sometimes you'll hear somebody, girl, you've been here what 2 years and they never showed you? You be like, no, so and so he came in here, he pushed a few buttons, and I don't know what he did. That's it. And then that person go in, click a few buttons, or do whatever they need to do and move along, because they're operating as a team. Like you're a team, you're staff, and you're not gonna let your staff fall apart. So with this here, they're getting this fake diplomas, or I don't know what the terminology is. This is fakeness. Yeah, it took a system to do that. It took a system to do that. They knew that wherever they were, they needed some people working, they needed some people in position, and they still banked off of it. They still made some money, but they knew they needed people in place, and they did what they needed to do.
All right. Hush, Lexus, and I think man they chimed in. I'm not sure, but y'all go ahead on. Let's wrap this one here up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be brief and quick with it. Good for them. Good for them. And I'm gonna say good for
Yeah,
them
they were
on
just
both
smart.
sides.
That's it.
I'm gonna say good for them on both sides,
It was
because good for them that
hard.
they try to expedite and push this long, rigorous thing for nursing. You know what I'm saying? Because really, why take so long to get a degree in something that you're passionate in? So good, they had the money and they wanted to do it. Good. Now also, it's bad because now there's a lot of people with big money making nursing jobs that's going to lose their jobs, lose their house, lose their career, going to jail, losing their husbands and wives. So now it's like now you got to start all over now. So now
Yeah.
it's like wow. So the economy might get a little rocky in the next couple of months because of that. No more Louis bags.
All right. Lexus and let's go to Bandit. Bandit, did you chime in on this one already? All right, you did.
Yeah, I did. But the one
Okay.
thing about what Hush is, I get that point, but they could agree in something else that didn't directly affect somebody's life and well-being. Like, you go to school for business, you may mess up somebody's books, but that's a big difference versus diagnosis somebody cancer or something like that. That's a huge difference. Very big difference.
That's a lot.
But
And do they
aren't
really
catching it because
even
a
know?
lot of us doctors save these. A lot of us nurses really do save the doctors.
Yeah, but then too.
That's why we say when everything evil is good. I'm telling y'all, I have worked with more educated people. You know what I'm saying?
Sad.
And it's
It's
just a
sad.
shame that they probably are. They might be some great people. As far as they're
Mm-hmm.
working and doing that. And now somebody needs you. Now you finna go to jail. Like for real. When I go in every patient, everything I give them everything I got. I'm talking about sometimes I be so drained from doing the most for my patients. You know what I mean? Because I just see everybody as somebody love these people and they want them to come back home.
Yep. You want to treat them just like as if you would
So
treat your own family.
Yeah, and it ain't, and for real, it ain't to be taken lightly. And I know, and I'm just sitting back thinking about how many of these chicks probably just flunked out of nursing school. It's hard, y'all.
A
I
whole
got
lot of
4 degrees.
Mercedes Benz is going back.
They going back. They gonna
Oh,
get
they
caught.
going
You
And
back.
guess what?
said
People still
what?
not telling.
Mercedes Benz going back.
They're going back. A whole lot of them going back. They're going back to the dealer.
I wonder if they even started like cracking down and like already like started, getting all of those people already. Like that's a lot.
They
That's
better
really a
start
lot.
selling that Louis
And
and
I'm sure they
Gucci.
made a lot of money during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
like with
Ooh,
all those
girl,
nurses,
if I ain't even, baby, I can't even explain to tell you some of the stuff I done seen these nurses do. And I just be looking back like, oh, God knew he better not have put me in that position, because I tried to get when COVID happened, I was a surgical nurse, and I asked my ex-husband, we were still married at the time. I said, "Oh, if you keep these kids, I'm going to get them racks." I'm like, I mean, not only because of the money, but I really felt like during that time is really what nursing is about. And they needed people in certain areas because they were just so depleted. And a lot of people probably lost their lives just because they were overstaffed. You know what I mean? And I was an OR nurse. So, but he ended up getting COVID. That's why I couldn't go. I was just like, I'll go there. Like, you'll go to New York. I'm like, it's a ministry. So for those of us who have truly been through school, it is a ministry. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if you for real take it seriously, you're ready to stand with your sisters in arms and brothers
What
in
do
arms.
what
But
they
it's
say?
but they don't they, it's like they are held to a standard. Like they
Yeah.
constantly have um physician visits, checking over the entire staff, like checking the record keeping. You have outside entities with different laws,
That's how I don't know how
different.
that slipped through the cracks. Somebody must
Because
have
by
caught
the
it,
time
and
they
that's
got
how they
to the
told.
hospitals, they had licenses. They didn't see, the key word is they wasn't selling fake licenses. The women who had them licenses earned it. They skipped the didactic part. They skipped the lecture part. You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
So
So now they losing
that's why I said
everything.
those for the ones everybody didn't make it. Out of all y'all see, out of 7,000 people, everybody ain't gonna make it. And I then went to school and graduated from people who went to nursing school and still are not nurses. Everybody's not gonna make it, whether you go put them 2 to 4 years in or not. Everybody's just not cut out. It's hard.
Yeah,
It
my
is so
friend,
tough.
Where
she
they
went
at?
and she said it was really hard, and she just quit. She was like, I tried too
Where
many
they at?
times, and she
Baby.
quit. She was like, it just wasn't for her. She said it was a lot. Like she was stressed, she was losing weight. It's a lot.
Well,
And
where they
they
at?
try to break you. Like it's like military. Like they try to break you. And it's something sickening about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I
like,
know.
you want me to fail? Like that's what you want me to?
Yeah, they
But
want
you
you to
know,
be the best
I
that you
wasn't
could
going out
be.
like that.
They want you
Huh?
to be the best you could be. That's what they want you to do. But the
I mean,
thing
I
is,
made it, baby. I did what I was supposed to do.
where's
But
these fake nurses at though? Because there's gonna be a lot of
Right.
they're all
things
over.
going on in the pawn shop.
Most
I
of them
need to buy
migrated to New York.
But
somebody
what
a Louis bag for Valentine's Day.
wasn't it in Florida too, right? It
In
was a big
Florida?
crackdown
Florida's
in
where they got
Florida.
their
I'm
diploma.
going down to
But they was
Florida.
working in New York because New York was like, because they were so under fire, they were skipping steps. Let's just be real. They were skipping steps because they were so under fire. They were losing people that bad. I mean,
You know how
y'all,
many
they were
diamonds?
begging people to come out of retirement.
Right.
You
You know how
know
many
that's got to be
diamonds right
passed from the
now is in
baby
New York?
boomers.
You know how many diamonds right now is in New York? Going to the pawn shop? I need to hit them New
I
York.
just feel like, man, you had to. I just hope they pray, man. It's about to be so bad.
$15,000 that could have been used to go to something else.
I need to go to New York.
Something else to help yourself, your family, your career,
15 racks.
something.
I ain't even gonna lie. Knowing what I went through, because I thought so many times, I'm like, y'all, so y'all mean to tell me I can't just study for the boards and take them? Nope, you got to do this. You finna get through this grueling stuff. But I contemplated it many times, like, it can't be this hard. Like, it cannot be this hard.
15,000, and then they losing everything.
And my stuff costs more than that. That's the sad part. And my stuff costs more than that.
Facts. So, anybody else got anything they want to add to this topic before we call it a night? All right. Nobody else. All hearts. What they said. If all hearts and minds are clear. Listen, we've had these same eyes watching us over on Facebook and YouTube. A lot of people have stuck here to the end, man. We really appreciate y'all because getting this thing off the ground ain't easy, but you guys make it a little bit easier for us with your comments, with your subscription.
Anthony funny.
What Anthony said.
He said,
"Oh,
"Look at
Anthony,
Santos. He's still in the office. All his stuff fake."
yeah, facts." And it says something about you guys liking, the topics that we bring in, the conversations that we're having. We appreciate you so much. You just don't understand. Once again, you can actually subscribe to our YouTube channel at Tmax_network on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook at Tmax Network in our Facebook group. Also, if you want to get your music played, email us at tmaxnetworkllc@gmail.com, and we will definitely put up your music up against what looks like the best right now. We're looking for somebody to come and really give Shadow 2 Real a challenge. Now, I know Shadow 2 Real does have a lot more music, and we've heard the song Immortal, like Slave People. So I will give Shadow the option if he wants to keep that song, or do he want to put his neck out there and try a new song to see is it going to make it to the next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Tmax Network People Campaign every Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a good night. If I can have the panel to stick around just for 2 seconds after we shut it down. But you guys have a good night, man. We appreciate it. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Put the light out and get in the bed.